Back up on my bullshit, back up on the scene. Done dealing with you, don't know how to deal with me. Done fucking with you, don't know how to love me. Done dealing with you, so I'm back. It seemed like I get so much, I don't get nothing back. I really thought it was love, but you're so fucking whack. Always get caught up in love, but I am done with that. I can't get caught up in love, so now I'm, flexing on my exes and my Model X. Pretty little, skinny, little bitty body Model X. Some of y'all ain't never had no real bitch and it shows. I keep it 100 from my head down to my toes. Back up on my bullshit, back up on the move. Touchdown in my hometown, got nothing to lose. I am on my own now, I am in control now. I need you to go now, I can fix my own crown. Back up on my bullshit, back up on the scene. Don't dealing with you, don't know how to deal with me. I'm fucking with you, don't know how to love me. I'm dealing with you, so I'm back, bitch. Back on my pussy, back on my dish, you in the studio. Back on tequila, back on the strippers, all the groupie hoes. This could get ugly, I'm petty, I want you bad out of smoke. I'm coming crazy, baby, baby, one thing that you should know. Little baby, better stick, act like you a stranger, Memory loss, I play it like that. Call your boys, I'm getting about that. Faded off the 42, quarters too important. Blue dream inside the roll up, watch me go up, leave me so stuck. I'm back and I'm better than me. One bitch on my level, ain't no question, I'm a legend, baby. Don't ever forget it. Know you see me rolling in this rose gold, so cold. Oh no, I can't fuck with lanes like you no more. Back up on the scene, out here acting foolish, like I'm 17. I just bought a new whip, don't need gasoline. I just think you're new, bitch, boosted my self-esteem. Back up on my bullshit, back up on the scene. Done dealing with you, don't know how to deal with me. Done fucking with you, don't know how to love me. Done dealing with you, so I'm back, bitch. Flex on my legs, in my Model X. Flex on my legs, in my Model X.
See, my days are cold without you, but I'm hurting while I'm near you. And though my heart can't take no more, I keep on running back to you. See, my days are cold without you, but I'm hurting while I'm near you. And though my heart can't take no more, I keep on running back to you. Baby, I don't know why you're treating me so bad. You said you love me, don't wanna find me, and I was all you had. And all my heart is beating for you, and I can't stop crying. I don't know how I allow you to treat me this way, and still I stay. See, my days are cold without you, but I'm hurting while I'm near you. And though my heart can't take no more, I keep on running back to you. See, my days are cold without you, but I'm hurting while I'm near you. And though my heart can't take no more, I keep on running back to you. Baby, I don't know why you wanna do me wrong. See, when I'm home, I'm all alone, and you are always gone. Boy, you know I really love you, I can't deny. I can't see how you could bring me to so many tears after all these years. See, my days are cold without you, but I'm hurting while I'm near you. And though my heart can't take no more, I keep on running back to you. See, my days are cold without you, but I'm hurting while I'm near you. Without you, I keep on running back to you. I trusted you. So sad, what love will make you do. All the things that we accept, be the things that we regret. So all of my ladies, hear me, come on, sing with me. See, when I get the strength to leave you, always tell me that you need me. And I'm weak cause I believe you, and I'm mad because I love you. it that we falling off lately? Maybe we just ain't been on the same page. In my mind, I'm done fighting it. In your heart, you keep trying. If the truth is not hiding, that's just the way we are. But can't say you love me when it's like that. Can't say I love you when it's like that. If it was new, it won't be like that. To everybody else, it would just all be bad. But I love when we make up like that. And you love it when I make you mad. But maybe we just love like that. Yeah, maybe we just love like that. Times I don't want you around. You do something to make me smile. And it's hard for me to try to doubt this feeling. Yeah, we could just walk away. Yeah, we could just stay away. The things I love about you, I can't change. No, 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 no. In my mind, I'm done fighting it. In your heart, you keep trying. And the truth we done hiding, that's just the way we are. Can't say you love me when it's like that. Can't say I love you when it's like that. If it was new, it won't be like that. To everybody else, it would just all be bad. But I love when we make up like that. And you love it when I make you mad. But maybe we just love like that. Yeah, maybe we just love like that. Can't say you love me when it's like that. Like that. But I love it when we go like that. Well, maybe we just love like that. Yeah, maybe we just love like that. Can't say you love me when it's like that. Can't say I love you when it's like that. If it was new, it won't be like that. To everybody else, it would just all be mad. But I love when we make up like that. And you love it when I make you mad. But maybe we just love like that. Yeah, maybe we just love like that.
Niggas ain't getting no money, tell them quit that cap. Niggas ain't getting no money, tell them quit that capping. Yeah. You need to be relaxing, you need to do your taxes. Yeah. We went triple platinum, don't wanna hear no nagging. Made it happen. Young and out there, bottom buddy, made it happen. I don't wanna make no friends, put me to my ends. Who we think he is in that brand new Benz? Should've knew I was coming, just a little young and I knew I'd give me some money. Know I turn nothing to something, I look at your cousin, the youngest, he's me and running. I promise to keep it 100, keep it 100. You see me grinding and hustle, you got that respect me. Fuck you, give me my check, please. Young and chasing dreams, reaching for the stars. Had it hard, but now I'm richer than I've ever been. I'm richer than I've ever been. Yeah. I'm richer than I've ever been. I'm richer than I've ever been. I'm richer than ever. Whipping a Tesla, cars, hoes, etc. Hit them with pressure. My niggas won't let up. Tell them niggas to catch up. Wake up, got $1 million in diamonds that sit on the dresser. Run up that check, now I'm flexing my muscles, I feel like cause we come from nothing to rollies and plaques. Fake love, it was holding them back. Flashbacks while you pouring the yak. Since a young nigga, he just wanted to shine. Used to daydream about thumbing through racks. He tuck and get cold in the rack. Tears fall while he loading the strap. Seen it all, he just wanna relax. I'm richer than I ever been. Put my heart before the bag, worst shit I ever did. Gave you a second chance and you laugh again. Remember days I used to wonder will we ever win. Young and chasing dreams, reaching for the stars. See all you can be, either you gon' starve. Young and not that bottom, but he beat the odds. Yeah, you love it all. I'm richer than I've ever been. I'm richer than I've ever been. Yeah, I'm richer than I've ever been. I'm richer than I've ever been. Ever been. He richer than he ever been. Ever been.
Cups of the rose, bitches in my old phone. I should call but and go home. I've been in this club too long. The woman that I would try is happy with a good guy, but I've been drinking so much, I'ma call her anyway and say, fuck that nigga that you love so bad. I know you still think about the times we had. I say fuck that nigga that you think you found. And since you picked up, I know he's not around. I'm just saying you do better. Tell me, have you heard that lately? I'm just saying you do better. And they'll start hating only if you make it. Cups of the XO. All my people been here. I see all of my friends here. Guess she don't have the time to kick it no more. Flights in the morning. What you doing that's so important? I've been drinking so much that I'ma call you anyway and say, fuck that nigga that you love so bad. I know you still think about the times we had. I say fuck that nigga that you think you found. And since you picked up, I know he's not around. I'm just saying you do better. Tell me, have you heard that lately? I'm just saying you do better. And I'll start hating only if you make me. got it. Hey. You got it, girl, you got it. Hey. You got it, girl, you got it. You got it, girl, you got it.
Take your spotlight. If I wrote you a symphony, just to say how much you mean to me, what would you do? If I told you you were beautiful, would you date me on the regular? Tell me, would you? Well, baby, I've been around the world, but I ain't seen myself another girl like you. This ring here represents my heart, but there's just one thing I need from you. Say I do. Because I can see us holding hands, walking on the beach, our toes in the sand. I can see us on the countryside, sitting on the grassland side by side. You could be my baby, let me make you my lady. Girl, you amaze me, ain't gotta do nothing crazy. See, all I want you to do is be my love. So don't give away my love. So don't give away my love. So don't give away. Ain't another woman that can take your spot, my love. So don't give away my love. So don't give away my love. So don't give away. Ain't another woman that can take your spot, my love.
Good morning. Happy Thursday. Good morning, D-True. Good morning, Money Boy.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, chat.
Morning.
Let me start off by saying this, okay? Cause see, it be the ones, that I fuck with, that I love, that I share my men with. It be them. So this is the thing. I'm not finna come in here this morning and talk about no move, Juice Kim. Not on this channel and not this morning, okay? Cause see, this is the thing. Hey, Melissa. Hey, everybody.
Real time. How the hell Nelly make the thumbnail?
Nelly got caught with that shit.
Yeah, he was doing wrong. I don't know. I guess I see where it go. I thought maybe he was saying he was set up by the fuzz.
Well, we'll see. But anywho, back to Juicy Kim. So this is the thing. I'm not going back and forth with you and nobody else about this movie or this movie topic or anything else of that nature. Because this is the thing. When I sit and I ask people, damn near beg for input and suggestions on movie topics, live stream topics, and I get nothing, especially from the people that complain, then listen, hey,
Can we at least get like a C-rated movie? These E-rated movies.
I don't listen. I'm not finna do it with you neither. I'm not finna do it with you neither. Because this is the thing. If I ask for participation and suggestions and not complaints all the time, then that's what I should get. So when I choose, okay, when I choose, I don't want to hear the crying. I don't want to see the snotting. And I just don't. Because
You
can I
done?
have it?
You done or are you finished? You done or
No,
are
I'm
you
not.
finished?
No, I'm not. I am
Okay,
not.
well go ahead. I'm a mute till you get done and then you finish.
Goody gumdrops. Now, like I said, I just don't want to hear it. I say, people, when I make posts, please comment down below. If you're not comfortable commenting down below, email me. I am willing to
I
entertain all suggestions.
I saw the microphone 3 times. The microphone dropped into the frame of the movie. Who does that?
No, that ain't what I forgot. Let me tell you something. First off, I ain't seen this here movie. I couldn't even remember the damn movie until I just put it on and I say, oh shit. Now I remember.
Why are we still talking about the movie?
Well,
Oh, let
no,
me say
because
this.
you
Let me
no
say this
no no
before
no
I
no no
before I
no
let
no 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 no
hold on.
no
Hey, Miss
no. We're
Tanya,
not
it's
gonna
so
talk
good.
about the
Hold
movie
on,
per
Juicy
se.
Kim. Hold
See,
on.
okay.
Hey, Miss Tanya, good to see you, boo. I'm so happy to have you back. I'm sorry you got to come back and listen to me, do what I do. But these
Mm-mm.
people be asking for it. These people be
No,
asking
I
for it.
ain't did nothing. I just came in being nice and gentle as I do, because that's what I do. And
Did
I
you even
said,
speak? Did you even
"Jesse,"
speak before you said something about the movie? Did you even speak to the chat? Did you
Did you
speak to me?
did you say gentle? Oh,
I said
I saw the
gentle.
cameraman in the mirror.
No, he talking about the movie. I don't want to talk about the movie. I was just saying in general that I was like, oh, now I remember this. Okay, that's all I was saying. And I just said low budget. I didn't say nothing about what was going on in the movie or nothing. I'm not doing that. I just said, oh, now I remember this. It came back to me because it's been some years. That's all I'm saying.
But my thing is this: even if you was watching the movie before you came in and you felt a way about the movie, why put what you feel about the movie in this chat, just Kim? You couldn't call me.
Well,
You couldn't wait till I
because
went.
if I don't remember, let me tell you something now. We done had this talk 2,500 times. If it come in my mind at that present moment, I'ma remember. And I have to chart it down. Now, if I go somewhere else and that you're talking about it, I'm being forgot what I want to say, and that's why I put it down on paper. Put it on paper. That's all I'm saying. Now, back
Did
to your
you?
regular scheduled commentary. I didn't mean to come in and disrupt your commentary. So go
Uh,
ahead.
did The
Are you
truth, if you say one more thing about the microphone or the cameraman, I'm gonna have a hissy fit now. I'm just gonna have one.
Oh, I have a question. Are you saying you have a bad memory, Juicy Kim? Why she's not answering? You have a bad memory?
She probably back to watching the movie. She does that. She don't even halfway be paying attention to shit, and then she want to jump in. See, she probably watching the movie right now. She ain't listening to you no more. She done said what she hated to say, and now she back watching the movie. That's what she does. She be watching TV and stuff while she be on the pound. Well, anywho, I got that off my chest because
Don't be
people
telling
be
my
trying.
business. I hear you telling my business.
Oh, good
Are
morning,
you
man. Hmm.
you don't have any major appliances being delivered today, do you?
Mm.
Okay. All right. Just check.
Um. So happy Thursday, everybody. It's good to have you all here in my presence. I appreciate the support on this channel, even though as hard as I try, my live streams seem to go left, right, and all over the place. But here I'm here for it. And but I hope everybody's having a blessed day. Let's get into what we came here for today because it is Thursday. It is the beginning of the weekend. for me. That's how I look at it. And it's almost the weekend, so yeah, let the fun begin. Okay. And since we're talking about, the other channels and stuff and things of that nature, there is a post on Truth Hurts After Dark asking for suggestions for Saturday night's topic. Wow. Okay. Hey, Miss Carla, still here. We still praying for you, boo, and your brother. I hope he's getting better. Mm-hmm. For those that, have such opinions, the truth, choose Kim. Yeah. It's post over there. All right. So, with that being said, y'all please be sure to hit the like button. All right. Hit the like button. Uh, Share the live out. Support the channel. This channel's not monetized anymore. So feel free to hit the Cash App, PayPal. The Truth Hurts has officially clocked in. All right. So, I got one question before we start, and I'm not gonna start with this one in particular, but I just want to ask you something.
Sure.
Now, I said yesterday that the whole Christian Collins case, it kind of, it's sad, and it kind of touched my spirit. Such a young man, but I know he's a veteran, and I know how you feel about veterans. Did you do any research?
I didn't. I'm about to right now, but I
Okay.
I was listening to you because I was driving. So I couldn't do anything else. But
thank you, Brooks.
Okay, understand so when you arrest somebody, you bring them to booking, which is you normally in big cities it's central booking. Sheriff's department have their own cells, smaller police departments have their own cells, but you hand that prisoner off to someone else. And
right.
if you've ever seen the process or you've gone through the process, you notice that other person that's being handed off to, he signs some papers.
Absolutely.
Those papers entail that now he is in charge and responsible for the prisoner.
Mm-hmm.
The police officer that had him sign documents.
Well, the truth, you got to do your research, okay? Because this is the thing. He was in there for a while. Like, he was in population for a while. This didn't happen like at booking or anything like that. No, it didn't happen. He was actually in custody for a while. I think some months. Hey, Natasha.
Then it's the officers in charge of the cell
Exactly,
block,
like the employees that were there at the time.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Their main duties, and when they get sworn in, their main duties is to ensure the safety of their prisoners.
Right.
And they're also trained in seeing problems like this.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Like if you guys didn't know, they know, like, they can pick up symptoms. They're supposed to be able to notice things.
We're gonna watch the video, the truth, because it was apparent. It is so apparent that this young man was in distress. It's in the video, and he was just ignored. But we're gonna get to that. We're gonna watch the video, and we're gonna talk about it. So you got a little time if you wanted to do some research on it. I'm gonna start off with the Sonia Massey case. Okay, so let's start off with the Sonia Massey case. Let's get some updates as far as that case is concerned.
I'm quite sure that everyone in this chat was alive in 1996 when Tupac died.
I was trying to ignore that, but
I couldn't ignore it. I'm quite sure that everyone in here was alive and well in 1990.
Oh, thank God, Miss Carla. You said he might be discharged today or tomorrow. Thank God, honey. We are sure praying for your brother, baby. I hope he gets out.
I'm hoping that that Angel will elaborate on why she just
no. There's not gonna be an elaboration. No, it's not. Not today. I'm not in the mood. Now let me say this before I forget. Let me say this before I forget. Speaking about Miss Carla's brother, let me also ask y'all to pray for my sister-in-law, which is my baby brother's fiance. I don't know if everybody knows, but I told y'all I got a new nephew. He was born last week, but his mother had to end up going back into the hospital. She had some complications or whatever. So she's in the hospital, and if y'all could send up prayers for her as well, I would appreciate that. Okay, baby's doing fine, baby's doing good, but yeah, my sister-in-law is back in the hospital, so if y'all could send up prayers for her, I appreciate it. All right, so no, the truth. There's not gonna be any elaborations, honey, not on that. We're not finna entertain that, baby. Oh Lord, that's just like asking everybody, where were you when 9/11 hit? I mean, like honestly, just hush. But so yeah, we're gonna get some updates, just a couple. On some
I
other
mean, if
things.
she had said, "Where were you when JFK was assassinated?" I'd be like, "Yeah, okay, all right, okay." 64, yeah, okay, okay.
Right. You know,
But
some people just be wanting a little attention.
yeah, I think so. I think so. I think she might just put on some fluorescent underwear and just run through the room. You ain't got to put up bullshit like that. Just put on fluorescent underwear and just run through the room. Everyone will notice you.
Man, say I ain't seen nothing. I ain't hearing nothing on coffee break. You get off that coffee break. Thank you, Miss Tanya. Thank you, baby.
He be letting these strays in to say weird shit. He don't do nothing. I don't know what the hell. What is his job? I want to know what his job is.
Oh my goodness. He on break, D2. That's why she got in here, cause he on break. He didn't catch it. So that's what you supposed to come in. You got him. You got him.
Melissa, be quiet. You weren't born in 1996.
Man, you probably gonna be shaking like a wolf. Just not drinking a cup of coffee after 3 weeks. I went 2 days and I'm drinking something today and I'm shaking.
He gonna be shitting like a racehorse.
What the hell in y'all coffee?
Caffeine.
Caffeine and damn near everything you eat. So y'all just now.
Well, coffee it be on 10. And coffee it be on 10, sir. And coffee it be on 10. Yeah.
Have you ever had Black Rifle coffee companies? Coffee?
Who?
Black Rifle.
No, never heard of that.
Yeah, that shit is strong as hell.
Oh no. Cause see the Colombian coffee for me is already strong enough. That Colombian coffee is good, but it is strong.
Yes.
Is that the bad shit coffee, the truth? Is that the one made out of the bat turds?
No, it says guano on it, but bat shit is not in there. I'm sorry. There's no possible
That's
way.
that coffee that them soldiers drink. Cause my granddaddy used to drink that black ass tar looking ass coffee, and he was military. So yeah, they drink that black ass stiff ass coffee.
You wanna stay up for 2 days? Just drink that shit.
Oh my god!
Oh, yeah.
It's like tar or something. It's like tar or something.
Well, that's if you leave it in a cup. If you leave it in a cup, right, and let it sit, there'll be concrete at the bottom of your cup.
That now who consumes that? That is ridiculous.
Yeah, I've heard of death coffee. Yes, I have.
I can't be doing all that.
Now, normally with coffee, they cut the bean and they try to, not they extract some of the caffeine. Death coffee doesn't do any of that. You drinking pure damn caffeine.
Okay, all right, y'all. So let's get into this first video. It is entitled. Now I told y'all on yesterday that there are people in groups and things of that nature that's calling out for the sheriff that hired Mr. Grayson to resign. And I told y'all on yesterday that he's refusing, and I didn't really want to get into it, but we're gonna get into it today a little bit because somebody sent me something that they think we should look at. But the first video we're gonna get into is short. Y'all know these clips be short, and that's what I like. They be short. Hey, Miss Gloria, thank you, boo. Thank you. Y'all hit the cash out, hit the PayPal, hit the like button. I appreciate it in advance. So, this one was dropped 16 hours ago. Okay, and it's entitled "The Sheriff Has Failed." Prince Kerr Stratton called for resignation after Sonia Massey shooting. All right, and so we're gonna listen to this and we're gonna talk about it. All right, let's listen. There is a lot of people, officials and all, that's calling for this sheriff to resign because they feel as though he dropped the ball. He's not the only one, though, in my opinion. A lot of people dropped the ball, but
Legally, he didn't really, because it's up to the other departments to kind of disclose these things.
Well,
And
I don't think. Listen, I think when that man was hired by that sheriff, he absolutely knew his history. The truth, because this is the thing. When you apply for a job, you have to put your work history. So I'm just not inclined to think that when the sheriffs looked at his work history and contacted his previous employers that he wasn't informed that this man had a history. I just don't believe that. I don't believe it was some big undercover effort to keep his past discretions under wraps. I think they all knew what he was about. I do. I do. I think they all knew his history and they hired him anyway. Yeah, I feel, but I could be wrong. All right, so here we go. Listen. I hope it play out.
Governor Pritzker is calling on the Sangamon County Sheriff to resign in the wake of Sonia Massey's shooting death. The 36-year-old mother had called 911 on July 6 to report a suspected prowler. Deputy Sean Grayson shot Massey inside her home as she removed a pot of boiling water from the stove. He's been fired and charged with first-degree murder. The sheriff has defended hiring him, but records show Grayson worked for 6 police departments in less than 4 years. He also had 2 DUI convictions, which got him kicked out of the Army.
The sheriff has failed. He has failed to explain how he ended up hiring this deputy sheriff who has been fired from other departments. He failed to put forward reforms that clearly need to be made, training and other reforms.
Real time.
Let's go.
This the same dude that refused to do something about Tiffany and her police department.
Well, that's a good point.
Remember they got the Alexis Wilson thing. I don't necessarily agree that anything wrong happened in that situation, but the parents and there's several people that feel like the officers were in the wrong. This was a public thing as well. I guess it's not as big as Sonia Massey, but he ain't had nothing to say about that. In fact, when they asked him about the corruption in the FBI going on in Dalton, he was like, well, the FBI there in Laura Lightfoot, we ain't got to send no more resources to do nothing. That was his response. Fuck him.
Well, it's all about politics, and it's all about, he wants to speak on this, but like you said, he ain't got nothing to say about what happened to that young woman.
He was trying to be Kamala's vice president. He was on the short list of people that she had.
Oh, really?
Yep. And the DNC is in his state, so a lot of people thought he was going to get it. So, but nah, he didn't get it. But I think that's what made him probably speak out about this. Because there's a lot of stuff going on in Chicago recently with officers being aggressive and shit. On camera, rolling up on people, yelling in their face and shit.
Right. Mm-hmm. And the bow he rolled in here on the tray. All right. This is real short. It's about to end in a minute. I just want y'all to hear what he had to say with his, media moment. This is his media moment.
Failed to meet with the Massey family.
We do not understand. And Sheriff Campbell responded with a statement saying he's willing to modify some of his hiring practices, but believes they are consistent with statewide practices. He also says calls for his resignation are, quote, nothing more than political maneuvering during a tragic event.
I agree with that. I do agree with that. I think that they are using this incident or whatever, this tragic incident to push their political agenda, and asking that guy to resign. Listen, I'm pretty sure this is the first incident or the first thing that has happened at that department. Now they want him to resign. Okay, all right. But the man say he's not going to resign. He's adamant about that. And I don't know if he could be made to resign or not. I don't know that part. But we're gonna go to the next clip. Where is my? Oh, okay, there it is. All right. Did you see the state officers back at work? Yes, ma'am. We talked about it yesterday, Miss Tanya. We talked about that yesterday. He's being charged with nothing. And
he's on desk duty.
Yeah, he was on paid administrative leave. Then he's on desk duty, right? So
something specific came out of that video you showed yesterday.
What was it?
They asked him a
When
specific
Governor Pritzker
question.
is
I'm sorry. Go ahead. You know how my device does. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
when
I
Governor
know.
Pritzker is
Don't
calling
say
on
that
the
smart. Just wait a minute. Hold on. Don't
Sangamon
say
County
that
Sheriff
smart.
to
Just know how my
on July
device does.
I can't
Go
work
ahead,
under these.
Richard.
I can't work under these conditions.
You better go ahead.
So yesterday, something very interesting came out of the video you were playing.
Okay.
He was asked, "Did you feel like you were in danger?" And he answered it. He said, "No."
Was that said on the video?
Yes, he said
I
no.
missed that.
He said no. I backed up.
I remember them talking about the fact that he didn't pull his weapon until the other guy pulled his, but I didn't
which
hear.
is standard. But
Yeah.
again, when they asked him, did you feel like you were in any danger?
Mhm.
And he said, no, I just backed up. You see, something else interesting came out.
That's still not going to affect the shooter's defense because he can say he feared for his life even if the other guy didn't because he was the closest.
Remember they keep talking about split second. There wasn't a split second. If you count from the time he said,
hey, I'm not here to litigate whether he's guilty or innocent, but the defense that they're going to use is that he feared for his life. That's the defense they're going to use.
But
now it's up to the jurors and his lawyer to make people believe that he feared for his life. I don't think that's a good defense, but that's what they're rolling with.
And okay, so there's a couple things when you look at the video. He says, "Put down the pot or I'll shoot you in the fucking face." Count from the time he says that until the time he fires. He had.
I mean, it was literally seconds for me. It was like seconds, right?
But you gotta count the seconds. You're talking about 10, 15 seconds to decide what you're doing. That's long enough time to know I'm not in any danger. Second thing, count the steps that he took from where he was.
Governor J.D. Pritzker says Sangamon County Sheriff.
He did take steps. He absolutely did, and went around the island.
Yes, take the steps and the what took him to get to the point where he shot. He took at least 6 or 7 steps to get into position. He thought about it. It wasn't a reaction. You see, there's a difference between a reaction and a thought process.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now, if someone pulls out a gun, you see a gun and you shoot, that's a reaction. Immediately you saw it, you shot. That's a reaction. He had time to say what he said and do what he did.
Mm-hmm.
That's enough time to process what is good, because the big question here is, did you have time to process the situation? You see, there's a difference between a reaction where you really don't process anything, out of fear you fire, and there's a process of thinking before you do it. And they're going to say you had plenty of time to realize that you were not in danger, because you realized what you wanted to do by moving into position to do it.
Right.
So you had a thought, and the thought was to move into position and fire.
You know what, man? I want to know that too. I want to know, did he have anything in his system? But we probably not gonna hear about that till maybe court. I mean, I bet you. Now they quick to put out, like, when victims such as Devonte Mitchell, right? They quick to put out when victims have something in their system. You feel me? Like when they do the autopsy and all that, they quick to put that out. But I wonder. Like, if he had anything in his system at the time, is that gonna be put out? Lady Marie, welcome. I wonder. Mm-hmm. He sure did put himself in harm's way. Yeah. All right. So were you done, D True, saying what
Oh
you
yeah,
were saying?
yeah.
Okay.
I'm done.
All right. So let's watch this short. When I showed y'all a minute ago about
Can
how.
I
Go ahead.
just want to. I just want to ask you a question.
Go
Like
ahead.
right now, when we want to talk, you can't stop the machine, right? But when we want you to play the machine, it takes you about 2 minutes to get it started again.
You a liar. You know what? And I'm not gonna put up with the shade today. I mean, I thought I made myself clear when I came in and got on, Juice Kim over there, that I made it clear and plain that I'm not gonna be shaded today. I have been shaded. You people who I love dearly have been shading me for about 2 weeks. And I mean, it's at a point to where I just feel attacked. You feel me? Like I feel like, my peoples is turning against me and things of that nature. And it's a conspiracy. And I'm just putting my foot down, putting my big toe down. I'm being kunta. Cut it off. Just cut it off. Don't stop it. Now, okay, now. I just played the video with the governor calling for his resignation. I told y'all to say, go to hell. I ain't stunned y'all. I'm old. I'm finna retire. Y'all ain't gonna mess up my retirement. I'm not doing it. So let's listen to this little short video where it's entitled Sheriff to continue in position despite calls for resignation after Sonya Massey's murder. Let's listen, y'all.
Governor T. Pritzker says Sangamon County Sheriff Jack
Thank you,
Campbell has done
man.
nothing to make people safe during the months since Sonya Massey was killed. Pritzker is critical of Campbell's lack of accountability for hiring his deputy, Sean Grayson. The shooting death of Sonya Massey by a downstate sheriff's deputy has resulted in some harsh words from Governor J.B. Pritzker. But today were his most critical, as Pritzker called on Republican Sangamon County Sheriff Jack Campbell to resign.
The sheriff has failed. He has failed to explain how he ended up hiring this deputy sheriff.
Prior to Campbell hiring Sean Grayson, the deputy sheriff had worked for 5 different Illinois police departments in less than 4 years. In addition, Grayson had 2 DUIs on his record before entering law enforcement. In an interview with ABC News last week, Campbell says Grayson's background did not strike him as a red flag.
The fact that multiple agencies is a plus. The way we look at it, he was not fired from any of them.
Campbell says he was unaware of concerns from a
Now,
previous.
I will say that's a good point. What you think, Detroit? I think the fact that, and that's probably why the dude was smart. Like he resigned from those positions when he was probably gonna get fired. Or they instructed him to do so, because they'll try to say, even though they're throwing you out there, they will try to save you in the process, right? Hey, Brandy, good to see you. Good to see you, boo. Thank you for the support from the bushes. But that's a good point, Detroit. The fact that he wasn't fired from any of those jobs. Do you think that weighs in?
No, because there was too many red flags. He was leaving too quickly. He wasn't with these departments for very long. Even
Right.
as just a civilian hiring regular people, when you start seeing people work 3 or 4 weeks and then they quit, 2 or 3 months, then they quit, you're going to ask that question. Could I ask you, if you feel like answering, why do you leave these jobs? And they'll go, well, I rather know it's a personal reason. But in the back of my mind, I'm saying, well, what's going to stop you from fucking doing it to me?
Exactly.
So that should have been a red flag for him immediately. But because there's no termination, he can use that in his favor. See, he's protecting his ass now, because as a human being and a person that does hiring knows damn well that he didn't just leave these jobs because he wanted to. Normally, if you say,
he was a what they call a job hopper.
Oh, well, see, here's the thing that, well, I relocated. Okay, I relocated. Or this job was better pay. See, those are things that you say in order to give yourself a timeline. But if you're somewhere for 3-4 months, less than a year, and you're moving on to somewhere else, unless you could say, well, I had to move the apartment or whatever, or I didn't live with it. He could have Grayson could have easily said, well, I wasn't living within the town limits and I couldn't find a place within the town limits. So I had to relocate.
Well, but you remember that job that he had where he refused.
He refused to move. That he could have explained that away, but
Mhm.
I don't believe he did. Now the other ones. Now remember, we're looking at this all wrong. The part-time jobs he was getting were all associated with his full-time position.
Mhm.
So he could have explained 4 of those away very easily. So we don't know if he did. And he's saying, well, there was no terminations.
Yeah.
So he's protecting himself, and he has, he's right. There was no termination. So he's not saying there wasn't any red flags. There was no terminations. And when we asked, he had no disciplinary action taken against him that we were told. See what I'm saying? So, yeah, he should have seen the red flags. I don't know if these are the explanations he was giving that guy. I can't tell you if he was or not. But, he's going to try and make sure that he's covering his butt.
Mhm. Well, I just seen a video that popped up that we probably going. It's 16 minutes, but I honestly want to hear. We're gonna just finish this one, and then we're gonna get into that one because I want to hear what he has to say. There's a full interview where he's talking about the reasons why there were no red flags for him. Hey, Nurse Jackson, welcome to the chat. Thanks for joining. Here we go.
Employer. Records show a Logan County Sheriff's Office supervisor reprimanded Grayson for inaccuracies in police reports. Campbell says he never saw the records during the hiring process for Sangamon County.
We didn't file a FOIA request. We rely on it to voluntarily be given to us.
Today, Pritzker also blasted Campbell for not meeting with Sonia Massey's family.
I'm not saying that's a fireable offense to not meet with them, but that just seems outrageous to me. At a minimum, listen to them.
He resigned.
Hear them. And then hopefully take action.
As Campbell said in last week's interview and reiterated today in a written statement, he has not contacted the Masseys directly, although the sheriff claims several requests through intermediaries have been rejected by the family. Despite what the governor is asking, Campbell is not leaving the job.
I am not resigning, and my resignation would do no good in this instance.
Campbell says Pritzker is playing politics. This afternoon at the Illinois State Fair, the governor doubled down on his earlier request for Campbell to step down.
There are signs that have been put up about saving him. Not doing something about the murder of Sonia Massey, but about saving his political career. So I think he's the one that's played politics. It's time for him to go.
And while Campbell refuses to quit, he did write in today's statement he is willing to modify his hiring practices in order to prevent an incident like that again. Meantime, the governor says if there's any silver lining in all this, that Sean Grayson is being held accountable. The former deputy has been charged with murder. And as the governor pointed out, that may have not happened years ago if it wasn't for body cam.
Watch breaking news on YouTube. Subscribe to ABC.
So I've got that complete interview, which I'm gonna play because, like I said, I want y'all to hear what his reasonings are behind. See, that's crazy to me. They just keep looking at. That's what I say. They get rid of him, right? Because he's the problem. He's a nuisance. He's a he's a whole lot of things. But they get rid of him, but they don't make it where he can't go to another department, causing the same havoc. It's crazy to me.
Like I said,
you know what I'm saying? It's crazy.
The Police Reform Act has it in there where they could actually, they don't have to request, they could automatically see the files.
I think they should be able to.
They want a database because just like, teachers have a database now. So teachers can't just hop from school to school to school once they get in trouble.
Right.
The teachers have a database.
I think there should be. I think there should be a database. Sure do.
Well, the problem is that a lot of the sheriff departments don't talk to the police department. The police department don't talk to the sheriff. They don't talk to the FBI. There's no intercommunication between them. Just like yesterday when you were playing that and they're talking about, it's speed. They don't want to have to look up stuff. No, we are in an age now where information is at our fingertips and is available within seconds.
Look at Google.
Yeah, within seconds. If you were to ask Google, if you were to ask any one of these technology companies, hey, we need to have a system.
Sheriff, thank you for sitting down with me. Earlier this week.
My God. Okay, so What I'm saying is, if you were to ask them, hey, we need a 911 system that will automatically reference a phone number, a name, because that's what AI does. AI is trained to look at stuff, spot stuff. You know, these TV shows are not full of shit. These TV shows are real. If Las Vegas can have instant facial recognition,
I call Pepsi,
within their systems, why don't the police departments?
Facts.
Why don't the airports? The airports do have that, but I'm just saying, why don't we know about that? Why don't we know that airports have facial recognition? Airport also have posture and movement recognition. So if someone's moving funny, they can spot it. So why are police departments so far behind? Well, when a phone number comes up, you see a name, there isn't things going, this person called twice yesterday, or we were just out there 4 hours ago. The mother states she has mental, that should have immediately popped up for the 911 operator.
Especially since, you got to think about it, especially since it all happened within days.
Days
like, all
of
these
each other.
interactions within days. In fact, this happened like what, midnight, 1, 2 o'clock in the morning, and there was an incident that previous day, early in the morning, like, you know, that afternoon or whatever. So you can't tell me that. But we're gonna get into that because I have a video that talks about that.
Okay, so when you call someplace and you go, hey, I made I made a deal. Do you see it in the notes? Oh, yes. I see it in the notes. Okay. I mean, most of the time they go, no, there's no notes, but they're there. They attach notes to people's phone numbers.
My thing is this. My whole thing is this. Think about this too. Now it's God, I gotta get to this stuff, y'all. It's the video out there talking about the fiance and things of that nature. Y'all, we're gonna talk about it and what this guy might have known. But this is what really disgusts me. Like, when you ask that woman at that door before you enter her home about her mental, and then you, after you shot her, you go to the truck and you make a call to dispatch talking about, does she have a history of such and such, whatever that code is, right? That call that you made to try to cover up what you had done, if you really was concerned about that woman's mental, you would have made that call when you were standing there at that door and felt like her mental was off. You get what I'm saying? So you wasn't concerned about her mental at all, because the call you made to dispatch
until it became an excuse. When it became an excuse, you were all over it.
Exactly. And I think that call was made just for a cover up, because I do believe that he knew.
It was.
It was a cover up.
It was definitely a cover up.
So let's listen to, and you can stop me at any point. This is the sheriff's full interview. It's entitled WCIA's 101 with the Sangamon County Sheriff Jack Campbell. Okay, let's get into it, y'all. Oh, hold on. Let me do something right quick.
Earlier this week, you stood in front of a crowd at the...
Okay.
Listening session. You said you will not step down, you will not resign. Since then, we heard from the community at that listening session, multiple people calling on you to step down. We've also heard 2 county board members now officially publicly call for your resignation. Do you stand by your statements from Monday night?
Absolutely. So when it comes to county board members, those are individuals I've worked with very closely throughout my career. And I believe that's just partisan politics. The reaction Monday night was certainly from a community that's hurting. And I understand that. And I was elected to lead this office through good times and bad. And this is certainly a bad time. And it would be dereliction of my duties to abandon the sheriff's office right now when they need me more than ever. So I will not resign.
What about the activists, the community members, even the members of Sonia Massey's family that have called and said that the steps that were taken to put Sean Grayson in that position were part of the problem and should be addressed as part of this, meaning you at the head of the department.
Well, nothing in his background, nothing in any of his testing, evaluations, anything at all would have led us to believe that he would snap the way he did. He acted outside the scope of his authority, our policies and procedures, and the law. And I think it's impossible to predict human behavior, but there's absolutely nothing in his background that would decertify him from working in law enforcement. The state of Illinois State Training and Standards Board had certified him 6 times over and over and over again to continue working in law enforcement. There was nothing that we could have predicted. And we are baffled and stunned and horrified by what he did. And this is on him and him alone.
You mentioned he had nothing in his background for that record. In the past few weeks, we've received records from prior law enforcement jobs, mostly in Logan County, the job he had immediately before this one. His record, through a FOIA request that was received in 5 days, and we got the information back. There were audio recordings of his superior officers questioning him towards the end of his time there at Logan County, why he was still even employed there. And then shortly after, he gets hired at Sangamon County. And just from the perspective of Sangamon County being, the largest county in central Illinois and north of the Metro East, and, the standard that would be expected at a sheriff's department of this size, does that show that you did enough due diligence in his hiring, that those records were, while they might not have been in his initial application, were accessible through relatively convenient means?
We don't FOIA any agency at all. We rely on professional courtesy, that when we call and we ask questions about a potential applicant, that they're truthful with us and they give us any documents that would help us decide whether or not they should be employed here or not. Unfortunately, we did not receive those from Logan County.
Are you going to FOIA now?
Well, I think that all the information is out there, but certainly we're going to take a deeper dive into what else could be. But it's an ongoing process.
I guess I'll rephrase that question. Are you going to be making the hiring process and the vetting process for your officers more in depth?
It has been discussed because if we can't rely on another agency to give us all the information, we have to file a FOIA request. Maybe that's the easiest thing for everybody. And if everybody in the state does the same thing, then nobody would be offended by it. But I will work with whether it's the State Training and Standards Board, the Illinois Sheriff's Association, to figure out maybe there's a better way that we can do this. And maybe FOIA is the right way to do it. So it's something that we'll have to take a look at.
There's been calls for that deeper hiring process, reform to that hiring process. At this point, are you on board with those discussions to that point where this isn't beyond just the regular actions of a sheriff's department, but the regulation at a higher level?
I think it's important that we know the entire background of an individual in any line of work, especially in law enforcement, though. And I will work with these agencies and figure out, what is the best process moving forward to make sure we get all this information.
The process of hiring him, you released his personnel record last night. And in that, you also included a statement where you talked about how much credence you put towards the statements, the references given in these documents. One of the references on his application was from a longtime Sheriff's Deputy, Scott Butterfield, here at the department. He was here for over 20 years. He was set to become Grayson's father-in-law in October. Did you put too much credence in that specific reference?
Too much credence. We look at all the references.
I know it's going to take you a while to stop it.
No, it doesn't. It does not. It does not.
It's going to start back up in a second. So that right there.
You talk. I'll be back in 2 minutes.
Yeah, that right there. That his father-in-law. Remember, they kept saying his father-in-law was the chief or something. No, his father-in-law was a long-time sheriff.
In that position that guy's in right now?
No, he worked for the sheriff's department. He just said his father-in-law is a well-respected, long-time employee or something. I don't know if he was a sheriff or what, but he said a long time. That right there is why Grayson got hired, and they didn't look at the DUIs. They didn't look at the red flags, and they certainly didn't ask why he left his last department. Because if they had asked that department, was he under investigation? And the department would have said yes. And they would have said his ethics of writing reports, all the things that would have kept them from hiring him. That whole thing about we don't trust your reports, you lie on your reports, blah, blah, blah. That right there is grounds for not hiring somebody. The man said, we don't trust your integrity in writing reports, which means you lie to cover your ass. But he just said, and I'm guaranteed that sheriff, that the high sheriff right there, he didn't know they knew that man was going to be his father-in-law. But somebody had said that his father-in-law was the high sheriff or the chief. No, his father-in-law worked with them, and he vouched for him. So that just answered why he was hired right there. Okay, I'm just saying. That's my observation on why he was hired. Because the father-in-law stepped in and got him hired. I'll guarantee when he got let go from that other department where he had to leave, where he decided to resign from that department, his father-in-law hooked him up.
And if you can remember, it was a lot of people in our chats in every live that we've conducted talking about this that has been saying he knows somebody, he's connected to somebody.
I even said he knew somebody.
Yeah, you said it.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of people said it in the chats. He's connected. He knows somebody. And then the father-in-law came up because it was said that he was the such and such and such. So it's true. It's true. It is true that he got those jobs because of that father-in-law. Period.
Yes, I agree.
All right. Listen.
And certainly I've been here my entire life. I've been a law enforcement over 30 years. I get this a lot where I know somebody, and maybe an applicant purposely puts somebody down that they know is connected to the sheriff's office because references are there to try to help out the individual. So, but we vet all of them. We call all the references. And,
No,
and
Tanya,
certainly
where you find that at, boo? Where you got that? Where you seen that at, Tanya? Let me know. I haven't seen that.
Scott, for all those years, I did, believe in that like I would anybody that I knew. For any position, a records clerk, I would do the same thing. I do give some weight to that. So, but it's the same process for everybody, and it gave him no edge up. When I know somebody like that, if they call me about it, I'll say, we'll give them an interview.
I absolutely don't believe that. I absolutely don't believe that the fact that the father-in-law was a sheriff and all this and that and the third didn't weigh in on them hiring him like that. I don't believe that. He's lying. I don't believe it.
You'd be surprised. Look, I'm telling you, he asked him to hire him.
He did. He probably had that job before he left the other place. When he knew he was gonna leave that other place, if there was a call made, you feel me? Because it happens. We know it. And he's just sitting up there. I mean, my thing is, if you ain't got nothing to hide, don't lie. Now we all know that father-in-law, his position weighed in a lot on that rogue cop is what he is, rogue cop being hired like that. We all know that's true. So you sitting up there saying that you just lying. Okay, I will give you the guy's channel who talked about it. I will email. Okay, thank you, Tanya. Thank you, baby.
But it will be no different for that person than somebody else.
But does that, you say it gives no edge, but does it go a ways in maybe setting aside some of the other issues that were popping up in his?
It does.
I know you addressed the multiple police departments in 4 years before he started working here. He also had the 2 DUIs. Some of his training scores in that personnel file you released last night, his cognitive exam said that he scored low in that particular one. He needs time to make certain decisions. It's been pointed out by more than just me that there were
scored low on the cognitive test. Scored low. Now let's see what cognitive means.
Cognitive is your mind, like your ability.
Because he's a psychopath. I'm gonna look at
your ability to process, just like they say for old people. The cognitive test is your ability to make judgments.
Yeah, it is.
How long does it take you to make
relating
the judgment?
Relating to or being conscious mental activities. Thinking, reasoning, remembering, imagining. That's dangerous for you to score low on a test like that being a cop.
But low, so low that he wasn't disqualified, because there is a threshold. He may have scored low compared to other people, but he didn't score low enough to be disqualified. Because all of these tests have thresholds. If you don't get a 80, you get a 79, you're disqualified.
Mm-hmm. That
You
alone
know,
should have been a no for him getting a job. I agree, Cole
but
Phillips. I'm sorry.
again, he didn't score low enough to be disqualified. There's always going to be a threshold.
I
Do
get
you
it. I get it.
do you want to pick the best one with the score?
I mean, to be
Yes,
honest,
but
there's a threshold in all testing, like getting into
yes,
college,
and
getting
anywhere,
on to other jobs. There's a threshold. I get
yeah,
it. And a lot of
anywhere.
people score low. They don't score low enough to disqualify themselves, but they do
Hmm.
score low. So I get it. But as far as being a cop and making decisions, and like that lady said, the cop that's defending him said you have a split second to make a decision on whether or not you're gonna take somebody's life.
But he didn't. She's wrong. He
He
didn't
did
have a.
not. It was
He
not a
did.
quick
It
second.
wasn't a quick. It wasn't a split second. There
Right.
was a thought process. That's why I keep saying there was a
Right.
thought process, and they could prove there was a thought process because he did
Hmm.
not fire from behind the island.
Where he stood in the moment.
He had
Right.
enough conscious mind to move to another position, which means he did think about it and he had a thought process because he knew he had to move to a different position to get the shot.
The thing that triggered that guy to shoot. Now there is some stuff out there about the fact that he knew and that was. We're gonna get into that, but the fact that what that woman said as far as being rebuked, and he said that when she said that he felt like his life was in danger. That's crap. That is total crap. But anywho, let's finish.
Does a reference like that, it may not give an edge, but does it set aside those kinds of other issues that may pop up in an application?
No.
It doesn't at all. When you say yourself that you put more credence in this.
Well, it's under yes, it means something, but it doesn't give them an edge as far as it may give me confidence. And I don't know if that's the same as edge to you, but we look at everybody the same way. If I wonder about somebody, and I'm not sure if they're a good applicant, but there is a connection. It may be something that I may be making another phone call, but it's not anything that gave him an advantage over somebody else. I'm looking for the best people. And if my best friend in the world sends me his nephew and that person is not capable of working here, then we're not going to hire him.
But you felt like Sean Grayson was capable of working in this department.
His background had everything he needed. He had all the training he needed. He had references, and he was not. There was nothing in his background that would decertify him as a police officer. He had been certified 6 times in the state of Illinois under their standards, even under the Safety Act, which expanded the number of decertifying convictions to still work here in Illinois. So when you put all that together, I had confidence that he would be fine here.
Going into what you just talked about, there's been reforms when it comes to law enforcement hiring. You pointed this out in your statement again last night. You said standards for employment in law enforcement have evolved over time. You mentioned to expand the diversity in these sheriff's departments. Is that specifically applying to DUIs? Because I think when we talk about expanding diversity in law enforcement ranks, I don't know if they're specifically talking about Sean Grayson in that specific. When you talk about his demographics, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Well, we're looking for applicants, and we talk about the expansion. If it's in diversity as far as your employees, we're constantly looking for all walks of life. I think the sheriff's office should reflect the community, and we never stop trying that. But we can't force people to apply here. So we know that we received less applications because of maybe a narrative that people don't want to work in law enforcement anymore. That really doesn't make any sense to us because it's good pay, good benefits, and but yet we're receiving a lot less applicants. I'm not sure why that is.
But to go off of that narrative, we've talked about this narrative before. I've interviewed you before. We've had these discussions around why people don't want to work in law enforcement. Does an instance like this not hurt that trust in the institution itself and hurt a person's willingness to get into this field?
It may. I don't want to speculate too much, but when the facts of the case all come out, and some of the rumors that are flying out there, they're simply not true. It should help alleviate some of that. But the fact is that we train people, and Sean Grayson had more than double the training most people get. He'd been through a part-time academy, a transition academy to legally work full-time in Illinois. And when I hired him, I sent him through a whole nother 16-week training academy. So training and experience is what get you through that you're safe and the citizens are safe and you can do your job. You have to know the policies and procedure. He violated all that. He acted outside the scope of his authority as a police officer with our policies and procedures and the law. He failed. He individually failed. That is not a reflection of law enforcement or any potential candidate. These candidates know because most of them don't get into it naive. They talk to people. Some of them do ride-along. Some have done explorer programs, work part-time, and they're not naive going into it. So they know they will get the training. We have deputies. They handle thousands of calls in their career that have done it right. And this is what I'm worried about. They know they did it right. We had one individual that snapped for whatever reason, that's responsible and solely responsible for this, it's impossible to identify that. There was no reason why he shouldn't have done his job that night.
Sean Grayson, when he arrived at the scene, was wearing the Sangamon County Sheriff's deputy uniform. And when we talk about public trust in this office, you called it partisan politics earlier, but Mark Ayers in his statement said that he believes that the public trust in this department is decimated because of this. How do you expect people in this community, who aren't going to know the names, the personal backstories, everything about a deputy that responds to their call, how do you expect them to trust that uniform now, seeing what has happened with him in it?
Well, it's important that we build that trust. We build a bridge to the community. It's already started with the meeting Monday night. I've known many of these community leaders for decades. I was on the phone with them immediately within the days of this incident. We talked about it. They understood the investigative process. They were appreciative of the phone call. Again, people that we have each other's personal cell phone numbers that we've talked to many times throughout my career, working with them and their groups, getting out to as much community outreach as we can. And then every day, our deputies are out, whether it's at the gas station or driving through a neighborhood and kids are playing basketball, that we assure them that we are not that person. That is an individual that broke the law. He is responsible for this. We are not him. And that is not what will define us. We will get through this. And for somebody to use this situation for political reason, I think it's quite frankly an embarrassment.
But those community leaders are also the ones calling for your resignation. Some of the activist groups in the city are the ones calling for your resignation because they don't believe that the person who hired Sean Grayson is in the right position, is capable of building that trust back, just based on that act.
Well, that's their opinion, and they're entitled to that. I was elected by the people twice to run this agency, and that means good times and bad. And you have been through bad times with me right here, and we have suffered, and we've come through it. And I'm not going to abandon the agency. They need me now more than ever. And I daily get phone calls and text messages from my deputies saying, "Do not listen to that. We need you here." And that's what strengthens me. That they know that I'm the right guy for the job. I know I'm the right guy for the job. And quite frankly, a lot of the county knows I'm still the right guy for the job. They know this is one individual that acted outside the scope of his authority and our policies, procedures, and the law. And he is now locked up and charged with murder. He will pay the price for that. He and he alone is responsible.
So you don't believe that just the fact that he was given a badge and a gun from this department makes the department, the command staff, the people in the hiring staff or the hiring board, yourself culpable in a way?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. This is on one individual that had all the training and tools and experience necessary to do this job. Up to that point, he had done the job. We didn't have any use of force complaints on him, not here nor any other agency he worked at. There was no indication of anything in his past that would have led to us understanding how he was going to snap that night. That is on him, and it cannot be predicted.
Do you believe that this shooting, that Grayson's actions were racially motivated?
There is no indication right now that these were racially motivated.
When you say no indication, is that just he never said any racial slurs at the case? Or, I mean, this was two white deputies responding to a black woman's house who was having mental health issues. There was an overreaction that has been made clear through the video and through all testimony we've seen about this case. You don't believe that the fact that her race played a factor in how Grayson felt going into that home?
After reviewing the body-worn camera footage, there was nothing on that footage that would reveal that. There's nothing here at the agency that we have currently. There was no complaints about racial issues, and nothing came from other agencies about racial issues. So as of right now, I have no indication that was a factor.
There have been calls for implicit bias training, more implicit bias training, not just at your department, but at departments across the state, across the country as a result of this. Do you feel like that is necessary? Talking about Sonia Massey's race and also her conditions, her mental health issues she had been having leading up to this.
We mandate that.
Do you think there needs to be more?
Well, training is ongoing, right? Training evolves and they're different. And there's certainly more mandates in the state now. And in addition to that, the deputies take elective courses where they want to learn more. So training never stops. If you have a 30-year career, you may be taking a training course the last week of your career because that's just what we do. It's law updates, it's procedure updates, it's technology, you name it. We're always evolving to be better. And I think that it's important that we continue to look at different types of implicit bias training and cultural diversity training. And it's something that we mandate and the people have to do it here every year.
There is a commission that the city has with those community leaders, those activists that helps with facilitate these kinds of conversations. You've said that you've had these conversations now after the fact that this has happened, but now does the county need to get involved with that kind of proactive conversation regarding this? Does it need to form a citizens review commission for sheriff's deputies' actions in the field?
I'm looking to work anyway with the community and leaders as to how we can improve our processes here. I certainly had a relationship and been in many meetings with all the organizations that you're talking about. And we ask for advice. They ask us for any issues that we have. And we're going to continue to ask more questions.
Do you have any specific calls that you're going to be making going forward? We're a couple weeks away from the first county board meeting since this happened. I'm assuming you're going to be asked a lot of questions and given the opportunity to speak there. Do you have any specific policy changes you're looking to bring to the table if you're not going to resign?
Well, we have to, right now we're exploring that, and there's options open to us, and there's some things we've already implemented that are simple, and there's things that are going to take a little bit of time. So
what have you implemented?
I can't speak to that yet.
You can't, just because of
it hasn't, the process is in place. We actually haven't done it yet.
You can't say what those steps are going to be, though?
It may be another layer of interviews with my merit commission. So previously that was not something that they got involved in, but I've already emailed them and asked them to step up and maybe do a final interview.
All right, y'all. What you think, D-True? Lot of
There's a lot of words.
Yeah.
Just a lot of words.
I got it saved, man, because I do believe some of his words that because he this is his thing. He feels like the people are asking him to resign because it's all political. Hell, everything is political at this point. You feel me? Like, but the fact that you don't want to take accountability in the fact that y'all hired this rogue cop and he killed this woman.
Well, again, you got to understand that the lawyers have talked to all of them.
Mm-hmm.
They have to put the blame on him personally, because if they say at any time that they drop the ball, they become more liable. You're going to have to fire him because he knows that that's a wrongful termination because he did nothing wrong, is what he said. Most people that stick it out.
He is overstating that. That was on him. It was on him. It was on him.
Yeah. And that he's doing that to protect himself and the city. All right. Can you give me like 5 minutes and I'll be right back?
Absolutely. We finna get into finna get into a video where it talks about. Okay, we're gonna do this one first. All right. So this video that we're about to get into, y'all, is short. It's 4 minutes and 43 seconds. And it's entitled, "Finally, Sean Grayson and colleague report released on what happened the night Sonya Massey was killed." Okay. This video is talking about the report that was filed by Sean Grayson and his partner. Okay. All right. And like I say, it's short. We're going to get into it. Let's listen. Let me do this. Let me do this so I don't skip.
Hold on. You come in the door or not? All right, hurry up.
Can I get a mod to drop this link? It's the channel's name is Tough Topic, TUFF Topic. This video was dropped 22 hours ago. If I can get a mod to drop that link in the chat, y'all go over there and check out the channel, Tough Topic. And yeah, let's get into it.
Brittany, I have been trying to keep you all updated on the Sonya Massey case, and there's so many shocking twists and turns to this. It does make you wonder who all in this department was in support of Sean Grayson's behavior, even after the body camera footage was released. Many of you need to get caught up, so just go to my Sonya Massey playlist and start from the beginning. So many things have been in question regarding this case, including Sonya Massey's state of mind at the time of the 911 call. Who was Grayson's partner on the night of her death? That's been the biggest question. And what was the reason for firing that shot at her when she clearly posed no threat to the officer? In a newly released report, which included 30 pages of statements from Grayson and other officers who reported at the scene, Grayson gives his side of how things went down. Grayson says when Sonya Massey told him, "I rebuke you in the name of Jesus," that was an intent of deadly harm. I mean, I get it if someone is not religious. They may or may not know what exactly rebuke you in the name of Jesus. However, rebuking someone and having an actual weapon threatening them are two totally different things. He says, "I interpreted this to mean she was going to kill me." He says when he drew his pistol and Massey ducked behind the counter, he moved closer to her around the bar, fearing that she was going to grab a weapon when she stooped down. He then adds in the report that Sonya turned to face
Wait a minute.
him
Now
holding
she
the
was
pot.
going to wait a minute. So now it wasn't a pot of water that was a weapon, since we clearly see the pot of water waste, right? So now it wasn't a pot of water, hot water that was the weapon. It was the fact that when she stooped down, she was going to grab a weapon? Really? So she was going to grab a weapon in a kitchen that she would have never been in had she not been instructed to go over there to the kitchen. Now, what weapon was she going to grab off the floor? See what I'm saying? Y'all see, this is what infuriates me. Like, you mess up, you fuck up, and now you want to lie. You just want to lie. You want to make things up. Now he felt like she was gonna grab a weapon off the floor. And if there was a weapon on the floor, you thought there was a weapon on the floor, why would you instruct her to go in the kitchen? Right, Miss Janice? Come on, like, you gotta make this stuff make sense. You really gotta make it make sense.
And did not know what type of liquid was boiling. He says he advised her to put the pot down after she was on the floor. He then says he approached her while she was in a crutch, grabbing the pot, raising it above her head, and throwing the boiling substance at him. He says, "I was in fear of getting boiling liquid to the face or chest, which could have caused bodily harm or death." His report indicates that he looked down to see the liquid hit his boots. He claims that he thought his body camera was on, but didn't realize it
How in the hell could that
after the shooting.
Listen, I'm trying to stay calm, y'all. I'm really trying to stay calm, because I know I can get a little hype on these lives. But listen, did he see water on his boots where there was a whole island separating them? She was in the kitchen at the sink. He was in the living room, dining room, or whatever that was on the other side of that island. There was no way that any of that water touched him. And even if the water touched him, it did not get on him from her throwing it. It got on him by it falling to the floor. But that ain't the case. That man didn't have no water on him. There was a whole island. I don't even understand how he feel like he could tell these lies with this video out here like this. This is ridiculous. This is ridiculous.
So that is false, because in the footage, you can actually see him turn his body camera off when he was circling her home and on the porch. So he knew and was fully aware. Just like he knew he had an opportunity to move backwards to give Massey order, since he was so fearful of the boiling liquid. Sonya was compliant, like she did everything they said for her to do. So he could have said, "Stand up, put your hands up in the air," before he even circled around to her. He could have backed up. The other deputy's report was not part of this release. However,
all right, let's listen to what the other deputy was reported, y'all. Let's listen.
Deputy Jason ECC says that Grayson was visibly shaken up. He says he took him to his patrol car, sat with him, trying to calm him down, and he advised him not to speak about what happened before being ordered to take Grayson to the hospital. Another deputy, which was his partner, whose name has been redacted, says that this never should have happened. The full report has not yet been made public from his actual partner that was there on the scene. Grayson overall just hurt his own self by just not simply following protocol. Just think about it. If his body cam was on, I mean, he may have had a defense that she did throw the boiling water at him. There would have been a clear view of her doing so. However, it's all messed up, and we're going to get more details, especially from his partner. But I want to know what you guys think in the comment section below. Don't forget to subscribe my channel.
All right, y'all, go over there and check out, was it Tough Topic, okay? So, I just I can't stand it. I cannot stand it. Now they want to cut up with all these after she took the pot out. Yeah, I can't. Okay, y'all, we got I think 2 more and then we're gonna move on. I don't never expect these things to last long. I be trying to get as much in as I can, but you know, we go to talking and stuff. But let me pull up this one, y'all. I want y'all to hear this one too as well. What kind of tats he got? I don't know. I did focus on that tattoo of the partner though, because it was in the screen the whole time of that video where he was holding that pressure to Sonya. I did look at that tattoo. I don't know what type of tattoos that guy has. I don't know. I'm sure he got some though, but I don't.
It looked military on the partner.
Yeah, that's what I was looking at. I was looking at that. It was in plain view the whole time. He was helping her. Okay, so let's see. There was another one that talked about the relationship, the girlfriend. What is the connection between? Okay, here it is. And I don't like I say, y'all, we gotta take this content for what it's worth when it's not coming from a news station. But I want y'all to listen to it because this is, I think, what was on TikTok. Now I said I really didn't entertain these notions, but we're gonna listen. This video
information is starting to leak out in the cracks of the Sonya Massey story.
See, this is this guy. Let me see if I want to play this. Oh no, he says theory. I ain't doing theories. Okay, I ain't gonna do that. Now, when something comes out, if anything comes out, stating that there was a
Evening, thanks for
I
joining us.
had another video though
And I'm Dawn Sterling.
that talked about her.
It's now been over a month since the death of Sonya
Hold
Massey.
on, y'all. Let me
On
make
July
sure I
6th,
ain't missing
Massey
it.
called 911 about a prowler. 2 deputies with the Sangamon County
Let me
Sheriff's
make
Office.
sure. I ain't got time to listen to these theories. I thought I had another video though. Let me make sure I ain't missing it, y'all.
I've heard all kinds of bullshit.
Oh yeah,
That the cop broke the window. I'm like, come on now. The window had been broken prior to her
They
going to
talked
the
about
hospital.
the incident where the window was broken. That happened earlier that day.
Yes, before she was on her way to the hospital, before she
Mhm.
drove herself to the hospital, the
Mhm.
window was broken. So come on now, these people look again. How much traction can they get? They just say off the wall shit just to get people to look at their video. Clickbait. Most of
And
it's
that
all
might be that
clickbait.
video that somebody came in here telling me about because it's on TikTok and it's a whole theory. I'm not doing that.
Yeah,
All right,
it's
so go ahead.
to me, it's like stop. That's why I get so mad at the homeless bum there, Pam, because all she does is make up shit just to get people to look at videos. I'm like, come on now, stop. You know.
Thanks for joining us. I'm Stacey Skrizak.
Basically, it be clickbait. It just be all type of crap. It's just crap for me. Because we can all sit here and make up theories all day long, but you got to go by what's evident. You know what I'm saying? So,
Like you got mad because of we played the Dr. Rashad, and he used a specific thing.
I was
clickbait.
heated. I was heated.
It none of that said that. Just like today, I was watching a video where it's, I guess somewhere in Nevada, Virginia City or something, like Trump supporters attacked. But dude that was arguing with him didn't have a Trump hat on. And a matter of fact, some of the people were wearing Trump hats, and they were saying that's not right. Don't do that to that guy. So I'm like, come on, man, you just doing that because you know that's gonna get people to watch your video. It's like you're doing too much, and you're making it hard for people that are actually showing proof and truth about who they are and what they do. Much harder.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so this last one, y'all, it's 10 minutes long, but it is talking about, and I'm gonna let it play, and then if we got something to say afterwards, then we'll talk about it. But this is the last clip, as far as Sonya Massey. This is they're actually talking about the actual Ben Crump case for Sonya Massey. It's entitled Ben Crump's case for Sonya Massey, plus the Illinois officer professional conduct database. Okay,
Yeah,
so
that's part of the Police Reform Act. They want a database for officer conduct, meaning if an officer gets reprimanded for anything of policy, breaking policy, they want it in a database where all police forces can look at it because they've run into problems where police officers were on vacation and something happened, but they weren't able to look at his prior uh, any prior actions that he may have took while he was on the job somewhere else. They want it to be ready available where they can look at if he has any kind of history of any of the stuff.
hmm I think it should be. I'm gonna say it again. I think it should definitely be that. Okay, let's listen, y'all.
It's now been over a month since the death of Sonia Massey. On July 6th, Massey called 911 about a prowler. 2 deputies with the Sangamon County Sheriff's Office responded to that call.
One of the deputies, identified as Sean Grayson, shot and killed Sonia after an argument over a pot of boiling water. The Illinois State Police conducted the shooting, or investigated. 11 days later, Sean Grayson was charged with murder. The former deputy is facing 3 counts of first-degree murder, aggravated battery with and official misconduct. He has pleaded not guilty. Grayson was denied pretrial release during his preliminary hearing. He is due back in court on August 26th. In the wake of the investigation into the death of Sonia Massey, her family has been calling for justice and accountability. And now, high-profile civil rights attorney Ben Crump has taken on their case.
News Channel 20's Carson Gordy joins us live in Sangamon County now with a look at Crump's previous record in these types of cases. Carson?
Ben Crump was retained by Sonia Massey's family just days after she was shot and killed by then Sangamon County Deputy Sean Grayson. Since then, Crump has said multiple times that he's looking to hold the county and the sheriff's office accountable to Massey's death, along with the criminal charges against Grayson. According to his website, he's negotiated nearly $100 million in settlements with civil lawsuits with local governments. In Indianapolis, the officer was convicted of second-degree murder. Crump also secured a $45 million settlement paid by taxpayers after a Connecticut man, Randy Cox, was paralyzed while in a police squad car. He now represents Massey's family after the deputy Sean Grayson was charged with 3 counts of first-degree murder and 2 other criminal charges. As of right now, Sangamon County officials say a civil lawsuit has not yet been filed against them. The county says if a civil lawsuit is filed, they do have a team of lawyers to handle a case and can hire outside counsel if needed. I'm Carson Gordy. Back to you.
Thank you, Carson. We'll keep you updated right here for any details on civil lawsuits the Massey family may file.
Governor J.B. Pritzker is now calling on Sheriff Campbell to resign.
I called for the sheriff's resignation because the sheriff has failed. He has failed to explain how he ended up hiring this deputy sheriff who has been fired from other departments. He failed to put forward reforms that clearly need to be made. Training and other reforms.
Campbell responded to the governor's comments, saying in part, quote, "I am committed to working with our community and elected leaders to level to prevent a state agency from certifying a similar law enforcement officer 6 different times in the future," end quote. Now, the sheriff also added that he has reached out to Sonia Massey's families, but his requests to meet have been rejected or not accepted.
Spoke with a de-escalation expert on what Grayson could have done differently to defuse the situation. She says it's the officer's duty to remember why they are responding to the call. She also spoke about the importance of communication when dealing with the people they visit on calls.
I think if he would have taken into account the fact that he called them in, I think that they were in there to protect and serve.
She says it's important for officers to give people an opportunity to respond to their commands, especially when tension can be heightened. Tonight, we are taking a closer look at how the former deputy who killed Sonia Massey was hired.
Our news team dug into the measures the state of Illinois has to track the conduct of police officers.
News Channel 20's Carson Gordy joins us in the studio after researching this provision. Carson?
It's called the Professional Conduct Database. It's supposed to document a range of misconduct and consequences. I was able to confirm with the Training and Standards Board that there were no reports entered into the database involving Sean Grayson until the July 6th shooting of Sonia Massey, meaning that the past misconduct reported at Logan County Sheriff's Office was not entered. The database started in 2022 after the Illinois General Assembly passed the Police Training Act. According to the bill, law enforcement agencies have 10 days to report an officer who willfully violates a policy, which resulted in one or more of the following: a suspension of at least 10 days, a formal investigation, allegations of misconduct, or an officer resigning or retiring amid an investigation. Law enforcement agencies are required to check this database before they hire any officer to see if they have a history of misconduct or if they resign or were fired. The database is run by the Illinois Law Enforcement Training and Safety Board. According to their 2023 review, there were 306 police officer complaints filed by law enforcement agencies. There are more than 30,000 total police officers in the state. I asked the Illinois Law Enforcement Training and Safety Board if I could see reports on certain officers. I was told no. According to state law, the public and the media are not allowed to access the database. Only law enforcement agencies and state's attorneys can see what is filed against police officers. I reached out to Grayson's former employer, Logan County, to see whether they used the database and whether Grayson would have qualified for it, but I have not heard back at this time. I'm Carson Gordy. Back to you.
Thanks, Carson. We did reach out to multiple lawmakers about the law, but we have not been connected. Sean Grayson is facing 3 counts of first-degree murder for the death of Sonia Massey. He's also facing charges of aggravated battery with a firearm and official misconduct. He pleaded not guilty to all charges. A judge denied him pre-trial release. He is set to be back in court later this month.
In the wake of the investigation into the death of Sonia Massey, her family has been calling for justice and accountability. High-profile civil rights attorney Ben Crump has taken on the case. According to Crump's website, he's negotiated $98 million in settlements and civil lawsuits with local governments. This includes a $27 million settlement after George Floyd was killed by a police officer in Minneapolis. The officer was convicted of second-degree murder. The governor, once again, speaking on the death of Sonia Massey and calling for Sheriff Jack Campbell to resign.
I called for the sheriff's resignation because the sheriff has failed. He has failed to explain how he ended up hiring this deputy sheriff who has been fired from other departments. He failed to put forward reforms that clearly need to be made, training and other reforms, and still has failed to meet with the Massey family.
The Massey family and multiple Sangamon County board members have also called for the sheriff's resignation.
Meanwhile, the sheriff has responded to that statement, saying that he has reached out to the Massey family, but has not been met with any type of a response. Now, he also said, in part, quote, "I am committed to working with our community and elected leaders to improve not only the sheriff's office, but also hiring standards on a statewide level to prevent a state agency from certifying a similar law enforcement officer 6 different times in the future," end quote.
Fatal phone call as we dig deeper into the background surrounding the Sonia Massey case. We are learning more about how former Deputy Sean Grayson was hired. Grayson shot Sonia Massey July 6th after she called 911. Deputies responded to her home for the report of a prowler. And according to the professional conduct database, Grayson's past misconduct reported at the Logan County Sheriff's Office was not entered. The professional conduct database is supposed to document a range of misconducts and consequences in law enforcement agencies. The database started in 2022 after the Illinois General Assembly passed the Police Training Act. According to state law, the public and media are not allowed to access this database. Sean Grayson is facing 3 counts of first-degree murder for the death of Sonia Massey. He's also facing charges of aggravated battery with a firearm and official misconduct. He pled not guilty to all the charges. A judge denied him pretrial release, and he will be back in court later this month.
In the wake of the investigation into the death of Sonia Massey, her family has been calling for justice and accountability. High-profile civil rights attorney Ben Crump has taken on their case. According to Crump's website, he's negotiated $98 million in settlements in civil lawsuits with local governments. The governor, once again, speaking on the death of Sonia Massey and calling for Sheriff Jack Campbell to resign.
I called for the sheriff's resignation because the sheriff has failed. He has failed to explain how he ended up hiring this deputy sheriff who has been fired from other departments.
The Massey family and multiple Sangamon County board members have also called for the sheriff's resignation. And the sheriff has responded to that statement, saying he has reached out to the Massey family, but has not gotten a response. He also said, in part, quote, "I am committed to working with our community and elected leaders to improve not only the sheriff's office, but also hiring standards on a statewide level to prevent a state agency from certifying a similar law enforcement officer 6 different times in the future." Thanks for watching. Stick around by subscribing today and don't miss.
Okay, yeah. So that's that on that. So what do you have to say about that database if you were listening?
Yes, but they're going to have to fine tune it a little bit because, well, they did add in if they're under investigation, but
that's the only time it can be accessed if the cop. See, that's too late by then.
Well, but here's the thing though, if you're under investigation, but you resign, it's entered into the database.
Mm-hmm.
But again, they're saying only other departments within Illinois can look at that, which is good because we know how how the news networks work.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to exploit something that they think is going to get them ratings, and you don't
Mm-hmm.
want them to be just able to go in there and attack officers because they resign.
Well, see, I'm not even talking about. I'm not even referring to like the public or news media. I'm talking about within the police departments.
Yes,
Like
he said
doing
that's what it's
like
there
during
for.
the hiring process. You get what I'm
Yes,
saying?
but at any time, any uh, Illinois police department can look at that at
But first
any
to our big
time.
story tonight at 9. Charged.
Sorry.
Oh my God, Jesus, Jesus, Jesus. Well, understand it's they have to request information,
Right.
so it's not like they just go into a database and all officers are there.
Mm-hmm.
No, they have to request the information about a specific officer.
Right.
So again, it's what they do within the state.
Mm-hmm.
What if they come from another state?
Right. Yeah.
The George Form uh, uh, Police Reform Act says it is a nationwide database that all uh, police forces can look at this database about a specific person without having to request. Because here, if say a police officer commits a crime in another state, they have to go from their state to request information from that state, which could take a long time.
Mm-hmm.
So if there's a database, they just request from that database information, and in the request is going to have to say, hey, we believe this officer may have done this. We need to see if he has any disciplinary actions for this, or we're getting ready to hire this officer. Can you give us any the information, access to his information? Those are the requests. Right now, you'd have to call individual police departments that they'd work at. So that means that sheriff would have to call 6 different or 5 different departments to get the information. 5 different departments to get the information.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of having to call one place and get all the information at one time.
Okay. All right. So that's it on Sonya Massey. I didn't think it was gonna last this long, y'all. But I had to give y'all those updates. We're gonna move on.
It would be faster if we had better.
You know what? Just hush.
Equipment.
Just be quiet.
Better equipment.
I do have better equipment. You know what? How about you buy me the equipment you want me to have?
What
Since you got so many complaints, let's just nip it all in the bud. Buy my equipment. I send you my address to send it to my house. I'm not gonna do this with you today. I done told you. Now you just keep on, D-True. So listen, thank y'all so much for supporting. I appreciate it. Please continue to hit the like button. Please support the channel. Hit the Cash App. Hit the PayPal. I would appreciate it greatly. Now moving on, D-True. Let's get into some updates as far as Devonte Mitchell's case. Okay, so we talked about yesterday. Carl Pepsi, y'all don't laugh. Cause D-True on me. I don't understand what it is about the men in my life that like me to just spaz out. I don't know what it is. It's like Money Boy, Trey, my brother, sometimes even my daddy, my friend. They just like for me to just go off. I don't know what it is about it.
It's entertaining. It's very entertaining.
See what I'm saying? So, I'm not feeding into it today, though. I'm not feeding it. It's a brand new day. I'm not feeding into it today.
I am wearing my bib again.
It's a brand new day.
Sing it, Trey. Sing it. Wow.
I like that song. It's very catchy.
I love it. Shout out to Mad. I love it. I absolutely love it. So we talked about yesterday, y'all, how the felony murder charges were filed against the 4 men that were involved with the demise of.
Oh, goody! I got a lot to say about this.
So we talked about that yesterday. So today, The update is two. I think at this point, two of the suspects has turned themselves in to police. And so we're gonna talk about it. This first video, this first clip is entitled. This is when the guy, I guess, before he turned himself in. So it's entitled "Man Plans to Turn Self In, Devonte Mitchell Death." Okay, so did I? Yeah, I did it. Okay, let's listen.
But first to our big story tonight at 9. Charged but not yet in custody in the Hyatt Hotel death. Only
a photo of the fourth man. What's up with that? That's the first thing I see.
He hasn't turned himself in. He has no mugshot, and they haven't pulled anything off of
gotcha.
the internet for him. But what the fuck is that thing right next to the guy with no picture? Jeez, look at the size of that fucking head on him.
You know what? It be cute.
It be cute for me. And what the hell is wrong with Grady down there at the end? Jesus. These guys were employed for me. These guys were employed? Employed where?
Yeah, you
know who that is?
Yeah,
you know who that is? I think that's the old black guy that they showed on the
Oh, the black guy's not up here. Why is he?
Old black guy. He's not on there.
The older black guy is the one that's not up here.
Yes, he got questioned yesterday. Remember, he
All
was on there talking about I didn't know, and again, this is they're mass charging, just throwing shit up there to see what sticks. And again, this may have been before the autopsy, because anyone involved.
No, I don't think no. This is after. This is after the autopsy.
Then they don't know how he died, and they're trying to say that
they do know how he died. I'm telling you,
what I'm trying to say is they're trying to say that the people holding his feet resulted in his death. Do they need murder charges? No, they don't need murder charges. They didn't effectively grab this man to kill him. They were restraining him, and he passed away. So I don't believe murder charges are right in this case. Manslaughter may be a man one, but not murder. You could disagree if you
I
want
said it
to.
yesterday. I stated yesterday that I don't feel like that last guy, that one that we listened to on the interview, I don't think he should have been charged with anything. But that's just my opinion.
I don't think any of them should have been charged with murder. Manslaughter is why that's there.
I don't know. I don't know.
They didn't set out to kill this man.
Wait a minute. Okay, they wasn't set out to kill him, but if you are suffocating a man, and let me tell you something, if you don't know you suffocating this man, if you know you are
suffocation, they're gonna say, well, I thought he was just trying to get away. I didn't know when he was flailing or whatever. I didn't know if he was trying to get away.
Well, we're gonna have to agree to disagree on as far as these other ones being charged with the murder.
But it's gonna go back to training. They were all fired.
They already stated, and the hotel said that they didn't have any type of training. They didn't. Nope. Not even the security guards. They didn't have training.
The hotel policy, just like it is in stores, is to not fight with the suspect. Me, myself, I'm fighting, motherfucker. I don't care what your policy says. I'm fighting. I don't care. But if their policy said that you are not to come in contact or any physical contact with anyone on the property, then all of them should be fired.
All right. Well, they were fired. They were all fired. I was talking about as far as charges, but they were all fired. All right, let's listen to this. It's 3 minutes long, y'all.
Only one of the 4 people charged in the death of Devonte Mitchell has turned himself in.
Jones joins us live from outside the Milwaukee County Jail after speaking with one of the mens rea who has yet to report to jail.
That's right, Ben. And tonight, right now, only one of those men is here behind bars. That's the security manager that told police that he was unlicensed and untrained while restraining Devonte Mitchell. And tonight we had a chance to speak with one of the men who says he wasn't supposed to be there. These are the faces of 3 of the 4 now fired Hyatt Regency employees charged with felony murder in the death of 43-year-old Devonte Mitchell. Jail records show 60-year-old Todd Erickson, the hotel's former security manager, is the only suspect booked.
I don't know if I'm coming or going.
A day after a warrant was issued for his arrest, Herbert Williamson is at his
Oh,
Rocky home.
that's a younger picture of him. That is him.
He's catfishing right there.
No, that's not catfishing. That's a mugshot. See, that's a mugshot, but it's a much younger looking picture.
Well, he was a bellboy. You know.
What that got to do with anything? You know what?
Might be a reason he's a bellboy. Has a criminal record. I'm just saying.
God, Jesus.
In distress.
Turning yourself in, how hard is this to do for you?
It's very hard.
Is he in a daycare?
It's very hard.
No.
But it's something that
all
I
that
gotta
shit
do.
on the shelf over there?
You know what? Can you just watch the video, please? It is not a daycare. Do you see kids or hear kids in the background?
Where's the fucking toys on the?
Okay, can you just not focus on that? Can you not focus
And
on
there's
it?
dragons on the wall.
Oh my God, Jesus, help me, Lord, help me.
Omen. When Mitchell died on June 30th, he's one of the 4 men seen here restraining him.
I feel like I'm being wrongfully accused. All I did was held Devonte Mitchell down. And I was instructed to do that by my manager.
Prosecutors say 35-year-old Brandon Turner told officers he was off duty when he saw Mitchell panhandling outside. He says Mitchell ran inside, locking himself in the women's bathroom. Here you can see a struggle between the 2 other workers,
So you
including
mean to tell me he was panhandling outside?
And then
So
he
the man
ran.
was
Then he ran
panhandling
inside.
outside. He ran inside because this off-duty person said something to him, so he ran inside, which I said yesterday I felt like he was running away from somebody. And this is what resulted in his death. He is, yeah, he's a collect. You can look at it and tell these two just want to be fun. You see all the
action
dinosaurs on that
figures?
bookshelf? You see all the dinosaurs on that bookshelf? So bellboys are criminals coming in our rooms. Child. Well,
bellboys don't come.
The thing about it is, Evil, you don't know who's a criminal wherever you go, whether it's a hotel, a restaurant, a grocery store. You don't know who's a criminal. There's criminals everywhere. They got jobs.
They don't come in your room. They just drop your shit off and leave. So,
Okay.
you know.
So this is the thing. He was the reason why this all started. Now that we know, is because he was panhandling. So he didn't cause a disturbance per se initially inside the hotel. He was outside the hotel panhandling. And if the man hadn't messed with him, he probably would have never ran on the inside of the hotel. But let's listen. Let's listen.
23-year-old Devin Johnson Carson, who was also charged, and a hotel guest got involved. Mitchell was punched and beaten before he was eventually placed on his stomach. The autopsy report says he died from positional asphyxia. Meth and cocaine were also in his system.
As simple as turning him over might have saved his life.
Dr. Brooks Walsh is an emergency
Real
medicine
time,
physician in
real time.
Connecticut.
Real time.
He wants people.
Okay, I'll give you a minute. Go ahead. Did you pause it? Okay.
Are you gonna talk?
Yes. So, okay. The way they teach you now to do a submission hold is that the person should either be on his side or basically on top of you. You can't put the person's body on concrete and lay on top of him. All the cases that we've seen around the country where people are put in chokeholds and die is because of that. You're pinning them between themselves and a hard surface, not allowing the chest to compress. And at the same time, you're squeezing around their neck, which is also decreasing the air. But because they're positioned on a hard surface, their chest cannot expand. Now, understand, once you stop the expansion of the chest, they can't talk either. If you're restricting their airway, they can't talk either. Okay, and a lot of these have been outlawed. Chokeholds, anything around the person's neck has been outlawed.
Should be.
So when they put him on the ground and they laid on top of him, two people laying on top of anyone, regardless of the size of them, is going to restrict their body from
anybody knows that.
Yeah,
That's
expanding
why
the chest.
That's why them not knowing that they was restricting that man's breathing. I don't get that. I don't think that.
They're going to say, I was never trained. I was never trained that I'm not supposed to lay on a person. I was never trained that I'm not supposed to put my knee in the back of someone's neck. A police officer is trained to not put their knee in the position between their back and the neck. The three vertebrae right there are never to be restricted. And they're trained not to do that. These guys weren't trained.
They wasn't. They admitted it. And he was the security supervisor. He was the manager, supervisor, manager. Come on.
To be aware of the prone position that ended Mitchell's life.
When someone is put in the face down position and they've been struggling, their body needs to get rid of all that.
Advice too late for one man
who
doesn't know if he will sleep in his house tomorrow night.
Okay,
Williamson tells me that
I agree. Truth hurts. They should have known. Did they say he got beat up before they held him down? They did beat him up. They beat him up. They punched him. They kicked him. Somebody hit him with a broom. He got beat up. They beat him up.
Hit him with a broom?
Yes, you see it in the video. I think it was the woman. What that woman? It wasn't a woman standing up there. Somebody hit him with a broom. He was hit with a broom, D-True. Yes.
You hit me with a broom, I'm even madder. It's like spit. Don't spit on me. Don't hit me with brooms and shit.
Yeah, I saw that in the video. They hit him with a broom.
I'm whooping everybody's ass.
Okay, let's
I don't care if you got 5, 6, but I'm whooping everybody's ass.
He couldn't do nothing. They all jumped him. They jumped him. Okay. All right, let's go to this one. This is where I guess the manager guy turns himself in. Let's listen. It was just too much altogether, the whole scene. And the fact that all this happened because the man was panhandling. I mean, come on now. You know. It all goes to how people look at other people that's struggling and seems and has, they come to the conclusion that their life means nothing.
I would be interested to know if he is a regular panhandler.
I don't know.
And if he has been talked to before. These are
it
all
doesn't
things
matter for me.
That will come.
It doesn't matter.
It does matter if he's
it don't matter.
If he's a repeat offender. You know me, I'm gonna throw canned food at him. You hungry? Here you go.
You shouldn't do that though, D-Truth.
You're hungry.
You shouldn't do it. You shouldn't do it. I mean, people just they struggle. And then this man, he had mental health issues, and that's the thing with these people. Just like me and my mom, we was going somewhere the other day, and we went to the gas station. I got out and went and paid for the gas. It was this guy. And see, what really gets me and pulls at me is these panhandlers. They are young. A lot of them are young men. I mean, like young men that's able to work, able-bodied to work, but then they have these issues. They have mental health issues. So I get out the car to go, pay for the gas or whatever. And as soon as I get out of the car, I close the door, the guy runs up to the truck. And I told my mom, I said, lock the door. And he was just rambling something. He was just saying something. You could tell. That's why I don't understand when people say they can't tell when people are not right. You know what I'm saying? Like, I get it because I could tell. And he was rambling something. I just told my mom, I said, Mama, just lock the door. And of course, I come back out. And the guy is telling me, thank you, thank you, thank you. And I'm looking at him like, and I get back in the truck, and mom, of course, mama gave him some money, child. You know, that's just my mama. She does that. But I said all that to say, it just saddens me that these people, they're on the street and they suffering with these mental health issues, and they just getting younger and younger. It's like they're getting younger and younger. This guy, he probably was all of 25, if that.
But the problem is that it's not always the fact. Some of these guys are doing it because they know about the money they make.
I get it. I get it that it's somebody that's just lazy and sorry. I get it. I do. I get that too. You know, I'm just saying that I can tell when there's something not right. You get it?
That's why the man that said, look, you got all these empty ass places around here, empty schools and empty buildings and shit like that are just sitting there and the city's just paying for them. Turn them motherfuckers into a nut house. Put them all in there because you know what?
Let me play the video.
They're going to get paid. They're going to get paid. You know what? It's cheaper for the government to pay them to be in the nut house than it is
God, Jesus.
to leave them out on the street.
Listen, they're not going to go the truth.
Who says it? Who says it's a choice?
It's the military in you for me. All right, let's play the video. This video is entitled 104 Men Charged in downtown Milwaukee, how he death turns himself in. Okay. And I'm thinking it's that manager, that security manager, I think.
Felony murder charges in the death of a man outside the Hyatt Regency Hotel is in custody. Devonte Mitchell died outside the hotel in June after workers and security guards pinned him to the ground after they say he caused a disturbance inside the hotel. Today, Todd Erickson, who was working security for the hotel, turned himself in. Phone News' Kendall Keys is live outside the Milwaukee County Courthouse tonight. Kendall Erickson is awaiting his first court appearance.
Right, we were here when his lawyer showed up for his first court date, but Erickson's appearance was eventually moved to tomorrow. Prosecutors say he's one of the security guards that was holding Mitchell to the ground tonight. Never before seen 12 News video from the scene the day Mitchell died.
Stay down! Please, stop fighting! Please, stay down!
Prosecutors say that's Todd Erickson back on June 30th, yelling as someone with a cell phone records
And
four
then
now
this guy
former.
right here to the far right, he ain't even, him and the other guy, they basically holding his legs. It's the two white guys that's at the top. That guy, that bald head guy right there, he way at the feet.
He's holding his feet down, but the second and third guy were in the middle. That second guy has his knee in his back. That third guy,
I know that. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
That third guy is also holding him near the waist. This guy,
when we
his
saw the
feet are
video
down
of
here.
Coach yesterday, he had his hands on his legs. That black guy up there in the middle, he had his hands on his legs. We saw it up close.
The one on the end, he's got his knees.
I'm not talking about the one on the end. I know the one on the end, he got the whole knee in him. I'm talking about the black guy in the middle.
The guy you're pointing at right now.
Right there.
Well, you were. Yeah, now you are. Him.
Right there. When we looked at the video up close yesterday, he had his hands on his legs.
And okay, the old white guy, I can't see where his legs are. Because he's
that one right there, I think the one with the knee in him.
Yeah, he's got a knee in him. I'm trying to see where the white guy has his body.
He look like his hands is on his neck.
Yeah,
right here.
His hand is at the base of his neck right now, which is.
See what I'm saying?
Is at the base of his
that's
neck.
why I say, and it has nothing to do with the color. I don't want anybody to feel that way, but I feel like this guy and this guy shouldn't get the same charges as this guy and this guy.
Well, you know what? They charge if you're in the car and someone commits a crime, they charge you
I
the
know
same
this.
crime.
I know.
So that's where they're gonna come into that argument.
I know.
And they're just like they did all the George Floyd guys. You should have known better. You should have said something. You should have did something. You should have rendered aid. These are all things that are gonna come back out again. You know, it all goes back to you should have known better.
All right, let's just.
Were employees restraining Devonte Mitchell outside the downtown Hyatt Hotel.
This is what happens when you go into the ladies' room.
38 days later, this is Erickson's mugshot. The former security guard turned himself in after prosecutors charged him and the 3 other men seen holding Mitchell to the ground. Warrants are now out for Devin Johnson Carson, the front desk agent, Brandon Turner, an off-duty security guard, and Herbert Williamson, a bellhop, all now fired and facing felony murder charges.
They brought him outside and they beat him to death. That's a body bag. In there, that's a body bag.
12 News was there June 30th and spoke with a friend of Mitchell's who witnessed his death.
My friend Devonte is now dead because security told me to go away as they were beating him to death.
An autopsy completed last week determined
Oh,
Mitchell
wow. So he tried to help him and the security told him to go away. My God, today. My God. You know what? Ooh. Ooh.
Well, where's that bald-headed white guy?
What?
Where was that bald-headed? Was the bald-headed guy the third picture that you showed earlier?
That man ain't white.
Really? Oh, okay.
No.
The very light-skinned guy. He was the one that dragged him outside.
He was the one at the bottom, the truth that I pointed out.
Yeah, but you wanna know? Here's the problem. You could have did all that in the hotel. You didn't have to drag him outside.
It shouldn't have been done at all. The fact of the matter is they was beating him and dragging him out at the same time. Why about just make the man leave? Why are you beating him and dragging him out?
And then dumbass yells, "This is what happens when you go in the ladies' room." What was there?
And that wasn't even what they say he was panhandling, which is the reason why they confronted him in the first place.
And I'm pretty sure that guy was like, my friend, he's a panhandler too.
He don't look like no panhandler.
Yes.
Well, Devonte didn't either to me, but anyway. Okay, let's see.
Toxic effects of cocaine and methamphetamine, a homicide. 12 News cameras capturing the moments an officer put Erickson in the back of a squad car the day of the incident. Erickson and the others would end up going home that day after speaking with police.
Kendall Erickson is the only one to turn himself into police so far. Prosecutors filed arrest warrants for the 3 other men in the case.
Right, Kristen, and the sheriff's office confirmed Erickson is the only one they have in custody right now. I asked legal expert Dan Adams about this. He's not on the case, but says there's really not a set deadline for those other men to turn themselves in. He says from a defense standpoint, though, best practice is to turn yourself in as soon as possible to demonstrate to the court that you're not a flight risk.
All right, Kendall Keys live at Milwaukee County Courthouse. Thank you. Milwaukee Mayor Cavalier Johnson released a statement on the charges saying, quote, they outline a confluence of troubling actions and circumstances leading to Devonte's death. I reiterate my call for justice. The accused deserve a fair opportunity to defend themselves. And at the same time, the family and friends of Devonte Mitchell deserve to have those responsible held to account.
Prosecutors charged the 4 workers with felony murder. But what does that mean? We asked local attorney Dan Adams to break it down.
So felony murder is different than the other homicide statutes because there is no mens rea, which means intent or recklessness involved. They don't have to prove that at all. All they have to prove is that the underlying crime happened and that a death resulted from it. So again, they're going to be having to prove the underlying crime, which again is going to be battery or false imprisonment. And because of that crime, Mr. Mitchell died.
Wow. Okay. Any thoughts, the truth? Any thoughts?
That last part where they showed you punching him is what's going to put them in jail. So where is this? Illinois? Where is this?
Illinois. Yeah.
Illinois has a federal murder charge.
Is it Illinois? Hold on.
I don't think so.
No, the Hyatt in the other case was Illinois.
Yeah.
I think this may be. Y'all help me out. I don't think it's Illinois though.
Yeah, I don't think it is either. But
I think it's
that particular state has a lesser charge. Milwaukee.
There you go. Thank you, Gears. How you doing?
They have a lesser charge between murder.
Thanks for joining us.
Oh, here we go. Jesus. They have a lesser charge underneath murder 2. Felony murder, which is higher than manslaughter, or it may just be felony murder, may just be manslaughter, because his definition that he just said is manslaughter. He just said the underlying act resulted in the man's death. That is manslaughter. If you punch someone in the face and they fall down and hit their head when they hit the ground and die, it's manslaughter. Your initial actions was not your intent to cause the man to die. That's manslaughter. So they may have a different, because everybody has different. I don't know why they don't just have.
Following breaking news this morning, a second suspect charged.
Jesus. Are you? Is your fingers like just falling off on things and just pushing buttons?
It's when I bring up another video, it starts playing before I can mute it. Just talk, sir. Just talk.
So let's say there should be a federal across the board. You have murder 1, murder 2. Some places have murder 3. Some people have man 1, man 2. Some people have involuntary manslaughter. There's a whole. The feds need to get together and say, look, this is what you charge people with across the board, across the country. Let's not play games on what you guys call something that's something different over here. You know, and felony murder, I'm thinking it's a little higher than manslaughter.
Oh, okay. Thank you, Gears. All right, y'all, this is the last one on this Devonte Mitchell for today. This is a video of them speaking about a second suspect in custody. Okay. Second suspect in custody. I wonder which one this one is.
Following
hold on.
Breaking news this morning, a second suspect charged in the death of a man outside of a downtown Milwaukee hotel is now in jail.
Zoe Henry is tracking this from the newsroom with the latest. Zoe, Devin Johnson Carson was.
Johnson Carson of South Milwaukee was a front desk employee at the Hyatt Regency, and according to Milwaukee County jail records, he was booked into the jail earlier this morning. He's the second person now in custody. Todd Erickson turned himself in yesterday. He was working security that day. The 4 now former hotel employees are accused of punching, kicking, and dragging Devonte Mitchell outside the Hyatt Regency on June 30th. This was after they say he caused a disturbance inside the hotel.
This is a good view. Let's get it. Okay, so hold on. It's in color. It's not blue. Ooh, it's not bluery.
I can't. Your emblem is right where.
Oh, hush. I can see.
All right. So both. Okay, so knee here and knee on the ground, but he has his weight on the back of his neck. The other guy is holding his arm, but has his second hand in his back. The other guy, this last guy over here is definitely on his ankles. But this third guy looks like he may have his thigh, could be, because his hand is definitely on his back. You see what I'm saying? And, you know, all these 3 hands right here are restricting his chest from coming. But understand, he had drugs in his system, which is now making his body work harder as he gets more and more agitated or scared. So now his heart is pumping even faster.
Yeah, because you got to think about it. Before he was placed in this position, he was beat.
He was beaten, which is going to cause them the most problems with this whole situation. See this right here? If this was just it, I think they might have a possibility of getting out of it. But the whole beating him from inside to out is going to be the problem, because it becomes the intent. You intended to hurt this man.
Oh, absolutely.
You see what I'm saying? By beating him, punching him, and doing all these things, you intended to hurt this man, which now gives you the intent, which led to his death. You didn't show this man any remorse. You didn't show this man any empathy. You beat him from inside the hotel to out. Now, if they could show that he never tried to get away from them, that he had no chance of getting away from them.
He tried. That's why he ran into the ladies' room, D-Truth.
That's the beginning. But I'm talking about from the time they got him out of that bathroom and from the time they dragged him.
But you got to realize and recognize, from the time they got him out of the bathroom, they were beating him and dragging him outside You feel me? Like once they dragged him out of the bathroom, they had a hold of him.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. There was no time for him to get away.
Right.
And with the four of them, there was no possibility of him getting away. They had no need to beat him. He was already restrained. He would have been restrained inside the hotel if you had not dragged him out of the hotel. You see what I'm saying? If this happened inside the hotel, they probably wouldn't have the conversation.
Oh, wow.
But because you physically removed him from the hotel, beating him all the way out the door, and did this outside, means this could have all been avoided.
Absolutely. It did not have to. And see, that's what be so infuriating with these cases. It be these people done that it's so unnecessary. You get people in certain positions, even as a whack ass bootleg security officer manager that ain't even got no training, that get it in their head that they Craig and Daddy them of top flight security or a road police officer, and they just do dumb stuff. They just that results in people losing their lives, and it's just ridiculous. It's just too much. Man ain't deserve to die. Okay, he was begging. So what?
They're well.
So what?
Okay. She asked if they could have kidnapping charges.
They said something about it wasn't kidnapping, it was something else, another charge.
What they say?
Unlawful to something.
Unlawful detainment or unlawful
something
detainment.
like that, yeah.
But I mean, I'm all for tasing people, but again, you got to basically have a justification. It's 4-on-1, which already is bad in their situation. They're going to say that he's a big man. He scared us, blah, blah, blah. He was fighting us. He says, please, a bunch of times.
All right. This is very short. It's almost over, y'all. Let's listen.
Also accused of pinning Mitchell down to the ground, face down, where he died. Earlier this week, prosecutors charged the four with felony murder. We asked local attorney Dan Adams to explain what that means.
So felony murder is different than the other homicide statutes because there is no mens rea, which means intent or recklessness involved.
I don't
have
see
to
how
prove that
anybody
at
can
all.
do that.
All they have to prove is that the underlying crime happened and that death resulted from it. So again, they're going to be having to prove the underlying crime, which again is going to be battery or false imprisonment. And because of that crime, Mr. Mitchell died.
No court date has been set for Johnson Carson, but Erickson is due in court this morning.
Zoe, thank you. We do know that there are arrest warrants out for the two other suspects, Herbert Williams and Brandon Turner.
All right, y'all. That's it for the update on.
Okay, Gears said something about George Floyd. A couple of years before George Floyd.
I'll be right back. You two keep talking.
Good. A couple of years before George Floyd, this happened. The George Floyd incidents happened in New York. The man was selling cigarettes unlawfully. They end up grabbing him, and he ends up suffocating. And the officer put an illegal chokehold on him. So they never learn. They never learn at any of these. You had the guy in New York City on the subway. He knew jujitsu or judo or something like that, and he put the guy in a hold, and the guy ended up dying. You know, but again, everyone's always been told you cannot pin the person down, which will restrict their breathing. Eric Garner, exactly. Here's the thing. This is not professional wrestling. This is not wrestling of any type. There's no tap out. This isn't the MMA. There's no tap out. So once you put that person in a chokehold, there's no tapping out. There's no referee to say, oh, it's done, it's over, it's over. This is real life. You need to understand that if you're not taught, how long does it take to put someone unconscious in a chokehold? Here's the problem. Not everybody's the same. Those specific rules of how long it should take to put someone out in a chokehold, they don't apply to everyone. And understand something. There's seconds between unconscious and death. Understand that the seconds between unconscious and death. And a lot of times, if you do not cause the body to react, to get a breath, that person's going to die. Because their airway has closed up. And if you don't cause something to force that airway back open, because when you're constricting that person's neck, whether it be your arm, your foot, your knee, or whatever, you have now caused the neck to swell, which the swelling constricts the airway. So there's no magic number. Everybody's different. That man was overweight. It wouldn't take much to get him. And the position they had him in was already, because a lot of people don't understand that when you grab somebody by the neck, all you have to do is turn the head and then point the head up. By doing that, you constrict their airway. Don't write that down. I don't want anybody doing it and then try to tell me I taught you how to do it. Okay? So basically, you should know these things. If you're going to do these things, you should know what's happening. If you're Mr. Billy Badass, you want to put somebody in the chokehold, understand what that chokehold does. And don't act surprised when the person's dead. That's what gets me. Mr. Kung Fu Man, did you not know what was going to happen? You should have, because when you're getting taught these things, you're supposed to be taught what's going to happen.
Developing tonight.
Oh, here we go again. Jesus Christ.
All right, so now we're gonna get that's it for the updates on that case. Now we're gonna get into the case of the case I introduced you all to on yesterday. The what's this fellow's name? Collins. What's his first name? I think it's Christian. Collins.
It's in the title, Christian Collins. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So the first video that we're gonna watch, it's not a whole lot on this. It's this video is entitled, and it was dropped 13 days ago. I told y'all this case is like 4 months old. And this video shows Army veterans collapse in DeKalb County Jail before he later died in custody. Okay. All right, so we're gonna listen. How do I?
Developing tonight, a mother is one step closer to getting the answer she deserves after her son, a military veteran, died in the DeKalb County Jail.
Christian Collins was 27 years old. He died in March of this year after struggling with PTSD. Tonight, his mother tells us she has questions since autopsy reports showed conflicting reasons for his death.
And tonight, we're getting a first look at the video that she says shows neglect. 11 Alive's Angelina Salcido went through 4 hours of the video and spoke with his mom about her son's last moments.
All right, let me put this. I'm gonna put this back on big screen so y'all can see the video real good. Okay, there we go.
This is her last memory of her son.
But I know you got.
I will definitely cherish it for the rest of my life. Jonna Milburn's 27-year-old Christian Collins was her only boy, a military veteran who she says struggled with PTSD. March 15, 2018.
And he died March 15, 2024, 6 years to the day.
Christian died in the DeKalb County Jail.
Unfortunately, he never received the adequate and timely care.
Milburn says the neglected detention deputies and the system caused her son's death. She's been fighting for this video of him in jail to be released.
The importance of having it released is to get some answers as to why no one was there to help my son.
The DeKalb County Sheriff's Office released 2 different angles of cameras in the area where Christian was housed. In the 4 hours of surveillance video, no deputies are seen responding. At 4:10, Christian comes out of his cell. 20 minutes later, he falls by the phones on the wall and several inmates come to check on him. They bring him into cell 206 a minute later. According to documents, 3 hours would go by without deputies coming to check on him.
It really bothered
Y'all hear that?
because
we see him collapse at the phone, right? We see him collapse. Wait a minute. He collapsed at the phone. The inmates pick him up and take him to a cell. I can't even get to the. Okay, here it is. He collapsed at the phone. The inmates picks him up and take him to a cell. And it's 3 hours before anybody in authority come and check.
Did the inmate say something?
Christian comes out of his cell.
I
20 minutes later, he falls by the
I don't know. Let's listen.
phones on the wall, and several inmates come to check on him. They bring him into cell 206 a minute later. According to documents, 3 hours would go by without deputies coming to check on him.
It really bothered me because the state that my son was in, I've seen him like that before. But the difference is I've seen him like that at home, and I've also seen him like that in the hospital.
Milburn says had he gotten the help and medication he needed when she and Christian's doctor suggested, he would have still been alive.
Just let him lie there for all those hours. It's heartbreaking.
In DeKalb County, Angelina Salcido, 11 Alive News.
So the sheriff's office
See, my thing is, I still don't know, and maybe it come up in some of these videos I got. I'm still not sure as to what he died from. I know he had PTSD.
But that's not. He had a pre-existing condition.
I'm sure. I'm just saying I don't know what it is, and they're not saying.
She's saying she's seen him like that before, and and something about his doctor. Because again, one of the entrance things before you go to jail, they ask you, "Are you on any medication? Do you have any? Do you have any medication?"
Well, let's listen to this. It's only 56 seconds, but family claims inconsistencies between autopsies. Listen to that one. Hold on,
y'all. Tonight, a family is claiming inconsistencies in reports regarding a young Army veteran who died in custody at the DeKalb County Jail. 27-year-old Christian Collins was found unresponsive in his jail cell back in March and was taken to the hospital where he died days later. His family says he suffered from PTSD and was diagnosed with schizophrenia and should have been at a VA hospital getting help, not in jail. During a news conference today, Collins' mother said the autopsy from the county and an incident report of the night of her son's death and surveillance video allegedly given to her by officials are inconsistent compared to findings from an independent autopsy. It also says when she got her son's body, his brain and spleen were missing because the county's medical examiner's office is still holding it for a year for further examination. The family
Oh my God! Wait a minute.
PTSD.
You don't die from PTSD.
No, but they're also looking for traumatic brain injury.
So you mean to tell me when this woman got her son's body? First of all, let's talk about the fact that she says there's inconsistencies. She's saying the autopsy that's done in DeKalb County is different from a independent autopsy they got done. That's the first thing. The second thing was, did they have to get permission from her?
No.
To remove
No.
his brain and his spleen?
No.
What do you mean?
No, because it's part of an investigation.
Let me tell you something.
They're saying that they need it for the investigation.
My son's body was part of an investigation.
Mm-hmm.
When he passed, they wanted his eyes. They asked my permission.
Yes, for a donation, but not the investigation. They're saying
oh my God,
that his brain has something to do with this investigation. That's what I guess the coroner is saying. That's
No, because if you think about it, his brain had something to do with the reason why he passed away. The purpose of the investigation is why whatever was happening with his brain wasn't tended to by the authorities.
That the VA could have stepped in and asked for it too.
I don't care who asked for it, D2. All I'm asking is this legal?
Yes, it's legal. It's part of the investigation. Don't you understand that they can take whatever they want if it's part of the investigation, and you can't say anything. If they deem it part of the investigation, they don't have to give it. They do what they want.
Okay, I gotta listen to this again.
Tonight, a family is claiming inconsistencies in reports regarding a young Army veteran who died in custody at the DeKalb County Jail. 27-year-old Christian Collins was found unresponsive in his jail cell back in March and was taken to the hospital where he died days later. His family says he suffered from PTSD and was diagnosed with schizophrenia and should have been at a VA hospital getting help, not in jail. During a news conference today, Collins' mother said the autopsy from the county and an incident report of the night of her son's death and surveillance video allegedly given to her by officials are inconsistent compared to findings from an independent autopsy. She also says when she got her son's body, his brain and spleen were missing because the county's medical examiner's office is still holding it for a year for further examination. The family is calling now for the surveillance video to be released to the public and for
all right, that's it.
His brain and spleen.
Full transparency from county officials.
That's crazy for that woman to get her son's body for the brain and his spleen to be missing. That's crazy.
But anytime, okay, what people don't understand is that PTSD and traumatic brain injury almost have the same exact symptoms. A lot of people don't know that. Traumatic brain injury and PTSD have the same exact symptoms.
Thanks for joining us on
And because he was in the military, because
July
if he
6th,
went
called
somewhere,
911 about
oh Jesus.
Just keep talking.
If he had went to Iraq or Afghanistan or something like that,
She said I think on yesterday she said he served in Germany.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
again, if he was in Germany, what? Why did he have PTSD?
I don't know. I think going into the military give you PTSD. Just going in and going through boot camp. You should have PTSD.
I'll agree. I
know people. I know people that done been through it. Shit.
Yes.
All the PTSD.
I agree, and I'll admit.
Now this is putting me in the mind of that case that we're gonna talk about with that young man that tried to take his to unplug the machines to get his organ. Now we're gonna talk about that, but this is ridiculous. I'm sorry, it's ridiculous.
I will admit I have given many a person in the military PTSD. I'll admit it, but
I'm sure you have.
That's beside the point, and I'm just saying that the VA is asking for a lot of veterans who pass away, specific organs.
Oh, it's like once Uncle Sam get you, they can do whatever the hell they want. They can decide not to take care. They can traumatize you. They can cause you to be traumatized, and they can decide not to give you the right help you need. They can decide to just put you out on the streets. You become homeless, and you got issues. They can decide when and what they want to pay for, and all that. Once you sign no papers, and they can even take your organs.
You know what? Y'all are gonna stop blaming me for other people's PTSDs around here, damn it.
You just said you called PTSD and some people. Hell, you don't call it in me.
Okay. All right. Okay.
The hell?
Okay. What I'm saying, okay, understand something. PTSD is only about 20 years old, maybe 30 at the most. Okay, we'll say 40. 40 years old. PTSD. Before that, they used to call it shell-shocked.
Yeah, I remember that term. Yeah, shell-shocked.
Shell-shocked. But shell-shocked is not what they consider PTSD today. Okay, shell-shocked is people that just aren't coherent. They don't see. They're totally out of their mind. They're shell-shocked.
Oh, Detroit.
What?
This video that I'm about to play, and I had no idea that this video had this in it. Remember, I just told you I just wanted to know. Okay, so basically, this video I'm gonna show. In the description, it says, listen to this. Christian Collins died under suspicious circumstances back on March the 13th. Jail officials gave his mother, Joniah Milburn, a toxicology report that said her 27-year-old son had several drugs in his system, including fentanyl. His mother didn't believe it and had Emory Hospital perform an independent autopsy. The results showed no drugs in his system.
Well, yeah, I already see that it's a cover up. There's a reason. First off, somebody watches those cameras 24 hours a day.
And that's why when you ask the question, whether or not the inmates let the officers know what was going on, they shouldn't have had to, because like you said, they got the footage, the cameras are rolling.
Again, I'd like to know if the prisoners themselves made a plea. That's a big problem right there. If they know that prisoners also made a plea for help for him, that jail or that city, that jail or that state,
DeKalb County,
they paid some money. If an inmate reached out and said, "Hey man, somebody needs to check on him," and they ignored it, but again, with the way he fell down, it looked like a head injury to me.
Well, we can look at it again. I ain't see all that.
But you look at the way he's kind of like standing up, he's shaking.
Had injury from where? From falling, or he had one before you?
They said there's an incident report. What was the incident?
Okay, well,
was he reprimanded for something? Was there a officer inmate exchange? Because remember, concussions lead to all kinds of things.
I agree.
Okay, the golden rule.
You going into and it's important to discuss his injury and whether or not he had a previous injury. But my focus and my disdain, the fact that he had whatever injury he had it. He was suffering from it. He fell out from it, and he was not attended to. That's what this is about.
That would be the reason that they're holding his brain.
Family, can I get a mod to drop Walter Lee Hampton II? That's the name of the channel. Walter Lee Hampton II. This video was dropped on August the 7th, 2024, which was yesterday, entitled "Family Demands Change at DeKalb County Jail After Inmate's Death. Christian Collins died under suspicious," and he just said under suspicious. But
any inmate death is supposed to be investigated by an external party, not whoever is manning the jail, not the police department. It's supposed to be investigated by an independent party. So there's no cover-up. It's an independent party looking into it. Whether it be the state police, whether it be the state police or somebody that has no affiliation with that jail whatsoever is supposed to be the one investigating that death. Because it's funny that the way he fell, because he looked like he was like dizzy or something, and he just fell out, which would be pretty much in line with a concussion. The fact that they're holding his brain tells me they don't want somebody to see that brain. I'm just saying. But the military is asking all veterans for research. If we're
I don't know what for. I don't know what for. It ain't like they gonna change anything or do
because
anything. They
they're investigating head trauma, they're investigating burn pits, they're investigating certain procedures that were done to military. I mean, understand something. I got 12 shots before I boarded a plane. 12 shots before I boarded a plane. Do you think they know what all 12 of them shots are going to do to my body? You think they thought about that?
Y'all go over and check out Walter Lee Hampton II. This is on his channel. Let's listen. I'm curious to see what he has to say.
Case of an armed veteran who died under suspicious circumstances inside the DeKalb County Jail. Attorney Ben Crump is now representing the veteran's family. Channel 2's Taisha Fernandez live now in DeKalb County, where the family, Ty, is demanding change inside that jail.
Is the hardest working man in
Wendy,
America.
the family said there's just no.
I did say yesterday. I told y'all this is another Ben Crump production. Yeah, this is another one.
Stop them from demanding change inside the DeKalb County jail. That would happen to their loved one, Christian Collins, because they want. He was clearly having some sort of, lets the family know that there's a huge problem here. Take a look at this video of the news conference today. Just ended in the last hour. About a dozen of Christian Collins' family members were here, and they wanted to support Christian's mother as Attorney Ben Crump announced he's representing them. Now, after Crump told the media all the details we already told you exclusively last week, Christian's mother said the only thing she wants here is no more detainees to die in jail. And she also wants everyone with mental health issues to get the help they need, and that's not in jail. We asked her what would she say to her son now. She said she would tell him she loves him.
And then I know that he was fighting. And I know he wanted to live. And I'm sorry that nobody was there to help him.
She wanted them to help her son, not to let him die, not to try to cover it up. So, DeKalb County, do the right thing, because she's not going to quit, and neither are we.
This is systemic. Crump all around the nation. This is systemic. But right here in Georgia, whether it's DeKalb County, whether it's Clayton County, or whether it's the notorious Fulton County Jail, where we're currently waiting on the DOJ report a year later, so we can see the internals of what's going on.
And I got to mention this. What was different about today's news conference compared to the last, you could just see the mother of this veteran just transfer the heavy burden of grief that she's been carrying, and she put it right on her new legal team, who said they're going to do an independent investigation. And one last thing, our exclusive story that we aired last week, after that story, the DA's office launched their own investigation into this death. So we will stay on this story. We're live in DeKalb County. Taisha Fernandez, Channel 2 Action News. Now, more details on jail death investigations in the metro. The DeKalb County Jail is not the only one with an active investigation. 3 inmates have died at the Fulton County Jail this year, and the U.S. Department of Justice is investigating 10 deaths at the same jail last year. Officials say Fulton's jail overcrowding is a factor.
Good morning. Today is Wednesday, August 7th. The year is 2024. It's a beautiful Wednesday morning. My yard.
Why is that man not wearing a shirt?
It's about 10:22. I was trying to. They were making so much noise outside the window. I said, let me sit here and wait until they move on. All that racket. In that news report you just saw, where a young man, a 20, I don't know, he's in his 20s, he was a veteran, who was having some mental health issues, was picked up by the DeKalb County Police and put into the DeKalb County Jail.
I couldn't wait to get back to my laptop. I knew you were going to go down in the screen. I don't know why he's doing this video, showing off his physique. I have no clue, sir.
Did he say, you know what? Oh, shit. Oh, damn, I turned on my computer. I didn't have time to get dressed. What the fuck?
I don't know. I can't call him and ask him. I don't know him. Y'all go check out his channel. I don't know.
Always without a shirt on?
This is my first and only. I haven't even watched this video. I'm watching it with y'all.
I'm worried that he's going to jump up and dangle his thing in our face.
Not porn, bro. Oh, gosh. Just listen to what he has to say, okay? My God.
Weeks later, also very minor misdemeanor charges. The thing that concerned me about him dying in the DeKalb County Jail is, like, every day, I don't know if you all know this, but every day in the prison system or jail county jails or the state prison system, inmates are dying every day for lack of medical treatment. I am sometimes astounded by the lack of medical care these inmates black people. And this is very concerning.
The fact of the matter is, when you enter the prison system, when you enter the jail system, you are a number and not a human being. It is what it is. You turn into a whole number.
You cannot be refused medical treatment.
No, you cannot be refused it legally, but believe it or not, the truth, it happens. And this is the thing. When you go into a jail or a prison, they do a whole assessment of your medical history. You feel me? So these people are aware if people have a pre-existing, things going on with them. And believe it or not, in jails, I know for a fact. Now, let me tell you something about the federal prison. You go into the federal prison system, and you pretty much, I call the federal prisons a vacation, sort of, because they take care of you in the federal prison. Truth, did you play the one on Sonya's song speaking? No, I didn't. I don't even know which one you're talking about, Ramla. They got so many videos out. The stuff becomes redundant, and I just can't play them all. But if it's one in particular you want me to play, look up there at that strolling thing up there and send it to my email, and I'll get it. But the federal, from my experience, not my personal experience, but the experience that I know of somebody personally, the federal prison system, they do take care of you. You go in looking one way, you come out looking 10 times better than you did when you went in. But as far as these jails, these county jails, these state prisons or whatever, they, believe it or not, the truth, a lot of times these inmates are denied medical care, and they take forever to, pretty much get people medical treatment for certain things. Okay. So, but you, like you said, legally you can be denied. You're not supposed to be.
DeKalb County is predominantly a black county with black officers, black inmates, black officers, black sheriff, everything's black over there. And they let that young man lay on that floor for hours without seeing him, which I find that very hard to believe. Then they tried to cover up his death by saying he died for something else. As I sit and watch the news every day, I see criminal activity, crimes caused by, the crime is off the chart here in Atlanta. Everybody's got a gun, everybody's shooting. Every minor disagreement, they get to shooting and acting a damn fool, killing somebody, and they charge all these crazy crimes. They sit up in these jail houses. Like I said before, you would think that these jails were a 5-star resort. The way people commit crimes and go, and I don't think I want to be put into a jail where I'm not going to get the type of medical treatment I would need by people who look just like me, who allow me to lay on the floor in the jailhouse and die. They had another incident in Fulton County Jail, another jail run by black people, black guards, black inmates, everything black. They let this man die in there, and he was there for days before they found out, before anybody went into that cell to investigate. He had been dead for several days.
Wait a minute now.
Yeah,
Wait. Did you know anything about this?
No, but I'll find out.
How in the hell do a man be in a jail dead 2 days?
Well, first off,
how does that happen?
It's gonna stink. Well, again, the man with no shirt is just saying it. I'll have to check it out for myself.
Okay, so apparently you don't.
He's not wearing a shirt. I don't believe anything he says. But here's the thing.
Well, that report that we just heard, they did say Fulton County was being investigated by the DOJ.
All jails are investigated. Remember, you got 100 people.
We're not talking about all jails.
You got 100 people in the area made for.
Stay focused. We're talking about. Well, we shouldn't be talking about Fulton County because this is DeKalb County that this happened in. But
He's saying Fulton
I
County.
just
But here,
don't understand how a
okay,
man can be dead in a jail cell for 2 days.
I don't know
Before
how they can either, because every 2 hours they're supposed to do a walkthrough. Every 2 hours they're supposed to do a walkthrough, and they're supposed to walk by each cell, look inside, and they would have had to. They would have known that he's never come out. There's somebody
don't they
monitoring.
require you to get up? Don't they do
Yeah,
chow time
well,
and all that?
This is a dormitory style. If it's a dormitory style cell where you have individual cells that surround a large dormitory area, like a common area, they don't do the line. So the line is where you come out, you're standing, and they do a head count. But they're supposed to do a head count anyway, but they do it on the camera. And he's not coming out of his cell. You're required to come out of your cell.
If that ain't neglect, I don't know what is.
Well, it is neglect, because there's no way. But again, if he just I understand, you're dealing with people with already issues. A lot of people die in there from drug withdrawals and all kinds of stuff. But you're not. So if you're having drug withdrawals, they're not supposed to leave you in general population. They're supposed to remove you to the infirmary to begin with. So him being in a cell, dying, and 2 days later they found you, could be an exaggeration. It could have been the same day. I don't know. I'm just going. I just want to
however amount of time that went by. First of all, how did he end up dying? And however minute, whether it was 2 hours, 2 days, or 2 months, why was it that he laid there dead?
I have no excuse for that. But you got to understand something. These dormitory style places are made for 60 people. They have 100 stuffed in there. The AC units suck. They keep it at like 80 degrees in there normally. When you start putting 40 extra bodies in there, now it goes from 80 to 85, 87. By midday, it could be 90 in there. The hotter it gets, the worse their attitude gets. Anything could have happened. I'd like to know, did that man die of natural causes that was left in the cell for 2 days, or did something happen? We don't. I'm not.
You gotta get on it, D2, because that's ridiculous.
Yeah. Oh, okay. I'll try to find it.
Okay.
Can he put his shirt on? Good.
What? Listen. I feel like something happened more than what they say, because they keep his body. Yeah, Miss James.
They didn't keep. They kept his brain
several times.
They kept his brain and his spleen.
Okay, but that's not a body.
Well, what is it? Well, what is it? Organs? What is it?
They didn't keep an arm, a leg. It
doesn't matter. They kept the brain and the spleen. Okay, we ain't got to be technical. It's disgusting.
They didn't keep anything that would keep them from being able to bury the body. The brain is not supposed to be there. The brain is removed to be weighed and everything else and looked at, all kinds of things. I mean, I know a lot of people don't get into what happens during an autopsy.
Well, we ain't gonna get into it today.
I myself have subjected myself to autopsies because I just wanted to see. But again, a lot of things, they weigh organs to make sure that they're the proper weights and stuff like that. That's how they help them. But the brain is removed on 90% of all autopsies.
Crime and things that you're doing, because once you get inside these jails, you might not make it back out of it. Clearly, this young man who's the vet should not, who had been in the military, he was a vet, he should never have been in a jailhouse. And I really wish his family had worked harder to get him released out of there.
And see, that's the thing. That's what I don't understand, because he was arrested, y'all. And this is the thing. He was arrested for running. I don't know what he did. I'm not for sure what he did as to why the police was chasing him. I just know that in the video we watched yesterday, they said something about he was running across a 6-lane highway or whatever, He ran back. He was doing that. Pretty much his mental illness had kicked in. So when they apprehended him, they took him to jail. In all actuality, he should have been in a hospital. But he should have been in the hospital and not jail in the first place. But that's
now, if he was on medication, his family could have brought that medication up to the jail and said he needs.
He can listen to me. This guy was in DeKalb County. His mom was in Texas.
She could call and say, "Hey, he needs this." Understand, people, you have the right to speak to them.
But if
you have the right to call the district.
They knew this, though. They knew his history. Did you pay attention to yesterday?
Yes, I paid attention, even though you played over everybody talking half the time, but I still paid attention.
What are you talking about? I played the what are you saying?
Stop fighting.
He's getting on my nerves.
What I'm trying to say is, you as his family, his mother, his father, his sister, his brother, even his aunts and uncle have the right to call the district attorney.
Did you not hear that lady about who else she called?
But I'm just saying, that's your right. You need to let the district attorney know.
That's your right, and I'm telling you that the lady did that. The truth.
I'm hoping. I'm hoping she did.
She said it in the press conference.
But she told them they had mental issues.
Listen, the truth. He had a history. He had been to the VA. They knew this. He had been in and out of the VA. He had been in and out of hospitals. He was diagnosed. He was an Army vet. All of this they knew. He was in the jail for months. The truth. He was not in there for days. He was in there for months. They knew his history.
Then the VA should have went, because the VA will go and pick you up. The VA will go and pick you up.
Veterans all the time.
Unfortunately, y'all are yelling at each other, but unfortunately, we know the police are not equipped to deal with mental health people. They're just not. And if they break a crime, even though they mentally fucked up, they still have to go get booked and charged, and then the judge decides whether they can hold trial and be punished for it or not. You still got to go to jail. If a mental person shoots somebody, you can't just put them in a mental hospital and say this is your punishment. They have to go through tests and all of that to see if they're able to stand trial.
If they're
a lot of people feel crazy.
They're competent to stand trial, but
police are not equipped to do that. That is not their job. Mental health people.
So because the police are not equipped, which ain't the inmate's fault, who shouldn't be in jail in the first place, and that's neither here nor there. So since the cops are not equipped, that makes it okay for men or people to be dying in jail.
Nobody said anything is okay, but he did commit a crime. What? So you saying
across the highway?
I don't know.
He wasn't a criminal, if you ask me. He was sick.
So I'm saying
what?
Again, okay, forget that. In a normal case, when somebody crazy,
we're talking about a normal case. It ain't forget that. We're talking about this case. We're talking about this case, Trey.
It is a normal case because in all of these cases, the police are called and they're not equipped to do that. They're not mental health professionals.
That's not an excuse.
It is.
What we need to do not to die. What you do is you get the person medical help. If you can't provide that medical help, you're not equipped. Then what you do is you get the person the help they need.
That's not the police's job. Maybe you need to talk to a senator or somebody.
It's not the police's job to get this man help.
No, their job is to serve and protect the citizens in the streets, not do mental health.
Oh my God.
Oh my God, all you want to, but you know a damn police officer is not a doctor. So when these things happen, it needs to be another set of people to go out and handle mental health episodes.
I'm saying they're not equipped. That's why you call the people that are equipped, Trey.
It's true. That doesn't exist. There is no group of people that come out if you crazy and come get you.
So you telling me 911 don't exist?
911 is the police, ma'am. It's not gonna send you a mental health professional out.
Don't do that. Don't do that. Paramedics, Trey. Paramedics.
A paramedic is not a medical professional when it comes to mental health.
Oh.
They're there to do emergency saving things. They're not there to talk about your brain. They're not there to
you
see.
mean to tell me if an inmate is in jail and they're suffering from something that can literally kill them, you mean to tell me if that person in this stress that is not supposed to be in the help called to help that person live? What are you saying? What are you saying?
Mentally ill, and you're talking about
his mental illness.
You said if somebody is in distress.
Oh my God.
Can you stop talking and let me answer one of the questions you're asking?
Oh my
So
God.
you just said in jail, if a person is having stress, what does that mean? Are you mean they're having a mental episode or they're having a heart attack?
I said in distress, Trey, the man died.
What do you mean by in distress?
What did he die from?
You said what?
What did he did not die from mental illness.
They haven't said when he died.
You have to have an autopsy to see why he died.
Trey,
people in jail,
Y'all are not listening to me. Y'all are not listening to me. Y'all are not listening to me.
We are. You just stuck on the fact that the man died, and you said the police did it, or he's supposed to need help. Help takes time to get there. It ain't no full. I don't even know
Trey,
what
there
kind
was
of
no help
medical
called,
assistance they
Trey.
need to do.
There was no help called, Trey. There was no help called. What I'm saying is, this young man went into distress and laid around for 3 hours before he passed. What I'm saying is, whatever it was that was going on with him in them 3 hours, there was supposed to be a call for medical help to save him. There's no excuse that this young man lay in that jail cell and passed away after 3 hours of being in distress and no help was called. You keep saying that the jail employees are not equipped. I get it. So why, if you're not equipped and something is going on with this young man, why is nobody calling paramedics? Why is nobody trying to get him to the hospital? Why do you let him lay there and die?
Because you know they don't watch them every hour on the hour. They do every blue moon. They don't. And most of these jails are short staffed. I'm guaranteeing if you look up their record,
Why do you and these troops sit up here and make excuses for this bullshit?
We're not making excuses. We're telling you factors that actually happen in jail. Most jails in the country are understaffed and they don't have the resources to be able to do the shit that they're supposed to do. Like if they're supposed to do hourly checks, they don't have enough people to do hourly checks, so they may do them every 4. Shit happens. It's real life.
I don't understand you people. I don't understand how you can how you can try to listen. How you can try to make No, I'm not asking. I'm not asking nothing.
You said, how was these people not able to see him for 3 hours? We gave you a plausible answer for why they may not have been able to see it. You might not like the answer, but it's an answer.
I'm done. Just done. Listen.
Do you want to know what his charges were?
These jails are hellholes.
Back to the naked man.
Charges.
His charges were obstruction of law enforcement and simple battery against police.
Okay.
So this is the first death in the county jail this year, and this is going back to March 15th.
Okay. So he has charges, and he's got charges battery against a cop. So Does his charges determine whether or not he should be saved if he's dying in the jail cell?
No, not. I mean, nobody should die because of simple charges like that.
Right.
But Money Boy is correct. There is a lot of short staffing. That's why they rely on the cameras more than they do
I'm sorry.
personal officers
I heard
going
what
into the.
No, I heard what Money Boy said. I get it. I heard what you said. I get it. But when it comes to life and death, and when it comes to people deserving to at least try to be saved, there's no excuse for me. I don't give a fuck if it's just one person working in that jail. There's no excuse. Now it happens. I get it. It's a reality. I get it. Well, all I'm saying is this: it shouldn't happen. It should not happen, D-Truth. And this is why I'm so upset, is because these men go into these men. And see, that's why we got to do whatever we can to keep our sons up out of these places, because these men go into these jails. And like I said, once you go into that system, you become a number. Your life don't matter. What you feel, what you think, what you need, it does not matter. You become a number, right? You are no longer considered to be a human being, which is why you could be laying in distress for 3 hours before you actually pass away, and you can die. And all I'm saying is, I know it happens. What I'm saying is, it shouldn't. It's ridiculous.
Ran and managed by Black people, Black nurses, Black doctors, Black everything. And because you have so many of these Black folks in there running these operations, so many Black people running these operations, they don't care. They just don't care. They don't care about the men. They don't care if you get sick. They don't care about you. They don't care about any damn thing. They literally just try to get a check and go home. If you out there thinking about you mad at somebody, you think about shooting them and grabbing them, you better think several times before you do that. Because if you get inside one of these jail houses and you get sick inside there and you have an injury, anything happen behind those bars. Now, when people tell me you got out of jail, they did 5, 6, 7 years, they're lucky to have gotten out of there alive. I'm serious, because the times have changed tremendously, and these people don't give a damn about your health, your well-being, your life. Your best bet is to not go. You need to, if you're out there thinking about committing some type of heinous crime, in this case, this man was only in there and put some misdemeanor charges because he was having a mental health problem. I really wish his family had got him out of there on bond. I don't know, did he even have a bond? Nobody's ever said.
Now that's another thing. That's true. Like that's a good point. That's a good point. Now, if he was locked up on those misdemeanors and he had a bond, why did the mom? Well, I don't want to make it seem like I'm blaming the mom, because I'm not. But it's a question, right? Why wasn't he bailed out? If prison or jail was not for him, which apparently it wasn't. He didn't need to be in jail. He needed to get help. So why was he still in jail after all those months? I don't understand why he wasn't bonded out. Why was he not bonded out? That's a good question. I'm sure he wasn't in there on no bond. Did you see anything that would say
he would have got bonded for that?
Yeah, because it was like misdemeanors, right?
They're not.
He didn't want to get out.
Yeah, they're not misdemeanors. In some case, the assault of the police officer, the other charges are misdemeanor, but the assault of the police officer could be deemed a felony, depending on how bad it was.
Was he deemed a felony?
Well, yeah, but it's a bondable offense.
Was he deemed a felony? Yes or no?
It doesn't say what they just say. He was in there for obstruction and simple battery, so that was not a felony. So it's simple battery, which means he either he pushed the officer or he
resisting pretty much.
Yeah, simple battery. He pushed the officer, or he may have come in contact with the officer on some part while he was trying to get away or whatever. But here's something that the video isn't telling you. The mother says, she states her son fell and hit his head earlier that day around 4:15. He was then found unresponsive hours later, according to family members. So
if he fell and hit his head in jail
Mhm.
and later start exhibiting that something was wrong, don't you think that would have alerted them officers to maybe if he fell and hit his head, he could have a head injury. We need to get him help. Okay. See, you just make
very
it
true. But I know I'm here. I'm just here to report the facts. I'm not here to make shit up or I'm just reading. Calm down, lady. I'm shocked that we haven't had videos interrupt us in the last 5 minutes. But what I'm saying is that she's saying he struck his head. I would like to know, did he strike his head before we see him fall out? Or is that when he struck his head?
It had to be before the truth, because they said that when he fell out at the phone, they took him to a cell where he laid down and eventually passed away. So the strike on the head had to happen before he fell out.
Yes.
The strike on the head
which
is
is
probably
remember,
the strike on the head is probably the reason he fell out.
Remember what I said? It looked like some sort of head injury, the way he kind of like.
You know what? They do have nurses in jail, Miss Janice. They do.
Yes, they do. They have an entire firm.
But why wasn't a nurse alerted to see about him?
Like I said, I would like to know if the inmates themselves asked the officers about him. They picked him up from there and put him in a cell.
Inmates mind their own business, and they probably thought he got into a fight. But yeah, the nurses, it's nurses in jail, but how many are there? Were there other PCs? Every time you ask a question like that, there's several more questions could be like, was the infirmary filled? It's a whole bunch of questions.
Yeah, but again, I would really like to know if an inmate went up there and said, hey, man, somebody needs to check on him.
Probably not. In jail, you mind your own business.
Well, they didn't mind their business. They should have left them there laying on the floor.
They didn't mind their business. They actually helped him lay down, so they didn't mind their business.
They picked him up.
But they ain't tell nobody though. They ain't say go.
You don't know that. You don't know that. You don't know that. Did you say he would like to know? We don't know that.
I like I said, I'd like to know if someone mentioned that to the guard, because that's all going to come out. Because again, there's cameras that are going to show an inmate walk up to that. There's a little window over there where they sit and watch them cameras at, and in that room where they watch the cameras at, they have full view of that common area that's right there. They can see all that in that little room. I would like to see if an inmate walked up there and knocked on the window and said and pointed, because you're not gonna be able to tell what he said. But if he knocks on the window and then points towards the cell, and they ignore him, that right there is neglect.
Mm-hmm.
It's neglect to begin with, because again, it was kind of fast, and you couldn't really tell when he hit the floor if they were picking him up because he was upset or something. So again, the cop, I don't know, he looked like he was upset. It didn't look like he was unconscious. Nobody said anything.
Now that you say something though, you said it looked like, and I didn't see that, but you said it looked like he hit his head when he fell. Now, mom said something about him hitting his head, and then 3 hours later he could have hit his head right then and got whatever injury. It could have been right then.
Because he flops and lands all the way on the ground. Now, again, it looks like he hit his head earlier, because the fall looks like something is wrong.
Mm-hmm.
And he went unconscious, because he doesn't just fall straight to the ground. He kind of wobbles a little bit, grabs his head, and then he falls. But they're going to say, look, we didn't even see that. The inmates picked him up and brought him to the cell, and we didn't see what. So it happened so quickly when they grab him and pick him up.
But you know what? You just sat there like maybe 15 or 20 minutes ago and said that those cameras are being watched at all
There's
times. So whether
supposed to
listen, can
be.
I finish? Okay,
No.
supposed to be. You said that they are supposed to be watched at all times. So if it was an officer sitting there watching this go down, it's the same as them being told. You saw it for yourself. You saw that the man passed out, fell down, and had to be lifted up, and so you saw it. You saw it. So why did somebody have to tell you?
If you saw that man hit the ground like that, you were supposed to send an officer in there to see what's going on.
Exactly. Exactly. All right. I don't know if I want to continue listening to him or not, because I gotta get off here in a minute. Let's see what else I want to hear about the drug thing, and he need to hurry up.
And maybe I don't know. But if y'all think these people in these jail houses give a damn about you, you better think again. They will let you die in these jails, and the people will look just like you and me. Black supervisors, black officers, they don't care. We just don't care about each other. We just don't care. Anyway, that video kind of alarmed me because I had been to prison years ago. Totally. You know, I see how ignorant these officers, and it just everything has gone off a cliff. They don't care about these inmates. They don't care about you in the prison system or in the county jail.
All right, send it to me, man. Thank you.
Alive, but every day, like I say, I'm trying to do this to this person, run this person over the car. It's kind of like, y'all think you're going to some country club or resort? Y'all literally, I walk around here on eggshells when I'm in Atlanta. I'm
gonna just have to look up about the drug thing. I can't keep listening to his prison stories and him. You know, I can't. I just can't. I'm at my peak right now. I'm gonna have to listen to the rest of this, y'all, off line if he says anything about the drugs. But I'm also look up and see if anything else is out there as far as the alleged drugs that was in his system. And then we'll talk about it more tomorrow if there's anything to it. I'm gonna end this at 3.5 hours because I didn't even intend to go that long. Now with the Nelly thing, we're gonna start tomorrow's live with Nelly. We'll get, and I think some more stuff may come out on Nelly, so we'll get into Nelly on tomorrow. We'll start off the stream tomorrow with Nelly. And if I find it, if I listen to the rest of that and he says anything about the drug, cause see, my thing is how would he know? Cause I ain't seen nothing in the news as far as that. But I'll look. Yeah, he fresh out, Tony. I can't watch. I can't. I ain't able. I'm at my wit's end right now with this. He wants to sit up here and tell prison story shit. He might get up and start fixing some ramen noodles or something. I can't. Like D True say, he might get up and just go to wagon. I can't today. We'll see about it tomorrow. Okay. Man, make sure you send it to me. I would definitely look at it and we can talk about it. I didn't know anything about that. I was waiting on another. It's coming, boo. I did 3.5 hours. That's it. I need these crime and justice lives not to be so long as our other lives, so people can watch the replays or whatever. But I promise to start with Nelly tomorrow. Okay. Because I do have to go live again in about 2.5 hours, and I gotta do something before I do so. Thank you, Ebru. So yeah, thank you. Making a cake. Oh, girl, they got this new. You know, you'll be amazed what people that have been in jail and prison can do with ramen noodles. It's amazing. They can do whole dishes. It's amazing. And what is that? Cheese curls, and noodles.
Truth, you got to see what the women do to make makeup and shit. It's some woman on YouTube got a whole tutorials. These motherfuckers use cocoa powder and shit.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, I can't.
Yeah, they make eyeliner, makeup, all types of shit.
That's crazy. That is crazy. Well, my thing is, what you need with makeup in jail for? Anywho, like, what do you need makeup for?
It's the visiting day when your boo come and stuff, and you want to look your bitch.
God. Oh Jesus. He do look like that man. He do look like what you call him on Baby Boy when he was in that kitchen butt booty nigga. He looked like he could play that role. Sitting up there with them prison stories. What are you trying to do, sir? You trying to get you a prison? But you know what? Let me stop. Anywho, we finna go, y'all. Listen.
Don't leave. Share this video. We'll be email it to you, text it to you. You guys share this video. It's a makeup video right quick. When we email it,
I don't want it, right? I don't want video of no prison buddies making no makeup.
You have to watch this shit. It's interesting.
Why? I don't have time. I got to watch the stuff that matters. I don't want to watch.
Where I send it to?
Send it wherever you want to send it, Trey. It don't matter. I'm gonna get it regardless.
I'm gonna email it. I'm gonna email it and text it. I was trying to make it easy for you since you screen sharing already, but I got you.
I'm not gonna put that up today. I'm finna go. I'm not doing it.
The video is 3 minutes long. You got 3 minutes.
Oh my God! Why me, Jesus? Why are thou taking me?
Because you lied to us. This is penance. This is payback. Play the video.
Jesus have mercy. Lord Jesus, help me. Just let me make it through. Just let me make it through.
Grace and tell truth to play the video. You didn't say it.
Truth play video because daddy's mad at both of us.
I ain't mad at neither one of you.
I'll play the video, and I don't care about your daddy being mad. Your daddy better leave you alone.
I ain't no mad at her.
Yay! L Daddy. Everybody L Daddy.
L Daddy, because I'm why? Because I'm a loser?
Yes.
You ain't right.
Daddy.
Come on, Monday. Come on.
You done got you. You want to go back to school already?
You gonna beat me up? No, I didn't.
She's a pretty girl. Is this the bootleg makeup? She's a pretty girl.
Never let me trip and fall again. Jimmy, to kick your butt.
All right, so I want y'all to watch this prison tutorial on makeup. It's 3 minutes long. I'm gonna play it. Lord Jesus, help me be offense. Jesus be offense. I'm being bullied. Y'all see it happen real time, real time.
Years in prison, I'm prison makeup. All right, so this is like flour, cake mix, powdered sugar, whatever you want to use. Just make sure it's white, okay? Then you're gonna need some Pepsi, and then you're gonna need some like cocoa mix. But boom, you're gonna hit it with like a little bit. You want to start off with a little bit because if you put, you know what I'm saying, too much at the beginning, you'll mess up and it'll be like, that's it. But you just want to start. You want to work it. Okay. So Rihanna, if you're watching this and you want to put me on the team, you know what I'm saying, I know how to mix some shit up.
She was in jail?
Depending on how dark the girl is, that's how much.
You know, sometimes you smart, but I really think you slow. She's not in jail right here.
He said she was in jail. Yeah, fine girls do crimes too.
She's not in jail right here, though. The truth, she's not.
I didn't say. I said she was in jail.
Apparently, she know how to make jailhouse makeup. 10 years.
Brooke said she did 10 years.
10 years for what? But you know, what is this channel name? Nice. How to make makeup.
Probably robbery, and women do crimes too.
She's gorgeous. Why is she going to jail? What did she do?
It's a whole bunch of fine ass criminals on YouTube. Like they got their fingers, they got tattoos and stuff. They fine. Like, what the hell y'all was doing?
Not in Texas.
Really? Right? That got to be some in Texas. Go to Houston. Go to San Antonio. Go to Dallas. There's some fine guys getting locked up.
Listen.
You put in it, all right, and then you want to mix it up. So pretty much what the soda do, it make it sticky, so it can like last on your face. And you just keep adding. See, look, but you're gonna keep adding it. Hold on, y'all. Mix it. It's gonna eventually turn into like balls and stuff, because you know you're gonna keep adding a little soda. Well, I add a lot that time, Lord Jesus. But you're gonna keep mixing it. You see it. And if it's too dark, then you just add more flour or powdered sugar. You know what I'm saying? y'all what it's looking like. You know, if you want to hide a black eye, if you in jail cheating, in prison cheating, and you don't want your man to see when he come up there, you got a hickey on your neck. Well, this is how we do it.
See, she just told you why you need makeup.
Looking.
You in jail cheating?
You want like a makeup brush? You will use
Yeah,
like a tampon.
yeah, she in jail cheating with a girl. Her dude come up there and don't know she gay. Same shit that the men have to go through. The women come up there and they don't know they dude sucking dick. Same thing.
See, this is why I can't play this video. It's going left. It's going left.
Pond or something and like feed it in your face. I just want to show y'all how it look on my arm. My arm is wet because I try to wash that flour off.
Oh, concealer.
It covered up the damn tattoo.
Wait a minute. Where the hell did she get flour from in jail? What
concealer.
the fuck?
She's 17 years. She don't look older than 17, E. Brooks.
She said flour, baby powder, or powdered sugar. You can get these things from commissary, or if you work in the kitchen.
Like she don't been more than a little over 17. How did she do 17 years? How old is she, E. Brooks?
Maybe she did something as a juvenile and got sentenced as an adult.
Oh my God. On her you on her Instagram. Well, how old is she, E. Brooks? You can't be getting the girl just made concealer before our eyes.
Do it with a brush. You wipe.
But who wants? I don't know what they say.
Women in jail who can't have makeup. She beat.
What in the hell is going on?
So if you get hungry, you just lick their arm?
You can lick their face. You can have some freaky sex doing, you get lick. Oh God, Jesus.
Y'all can see. I was about to do the side, but I was just trying to see like.
Well, this could also be trailer park makeup too, right?
Oh, that's it, y'all. That's amazing. That was amazing.
I am up here again with the only icon.
Shut up.
Oh, sorry.
Hey, she also got one where she made prison earrings with Skittles.
Now I can believe that. That's more believable for me. You can make earrings out of pretty much anything.
Can she make pussy rejuvenating in jail?
She can make lip gloss out of Skittles too.
Y'all, you know what?
Can the shit be tighter when she get home?
You gotta see her make the prison lashes. Just go down her channel. It's interesting. The prison lashes, I watched that with person. I'm like, what the hell?
She looked like she had a couple caterpillars stuck on her eyelids just a second ago.
Well, them were lashes, and they were nice looking lashes. Don't do that. Don't do that. There might be prison lashes. I don't know.
Let me tell you that to me,
right,
I'm like,
it gotta be because that girl just said that made concealer in
3 minutes. In 3 minutes.
Wow. All right, y'all. Well, that's the tip for today. Everybody, let's go make some concealer and come back and talk about it. She must have on a lot of makeup. She looks different. Well, makeup and lashes and stuff can change your whole appearance. We see that with the Great Gabowski every day. That bitch look like a milk dug, and then she put that makeup on and she looked decent. I'm just saying. Anywho, yeah. So thank y'all so much for the support today. I appreciate it. Thank you for supporting the channel, the live stream. I appreciate it. If you hadn't hit the like button, hit it on the way out. Thank you very much. If you're catching the replay, please hit the like button. I appreciate it. Shout out to Trey and D-Truth, even though they have caused me to now need to go take some medication. But they
Jesus.
They're saying. So yeah, but shout out to them for the panel today. I appreciate it. Oh, and for Juicy Kim for her 5 minutes that she was. I don't know what she probably asleep now. But anywho, I see y'all in like 2 hours. 2 hours on the T channel. Got anything to say before we get off of him, fellas? And don't start nothing, okay? Just don't start.
I gotta read my contract again.
Ain't no need of reading it. It's ironclad, and you can't get out of it. So hush. The fuck?
My next contract's gonna be different.
Whatever. That's a 5-year contract, sir. What you gonna do? Thank you, Tanya. Love you too. See you later, Natasha. I see y'all in a couple of hours. All right. Y'all be good. Y'all have a blessed, beautiful day. Continue your work day. And I will see y'all later. Shout out to the True Siblings in the State Gang. Until next time.
Equipment.
What? I told you I'll be looking for my new equipment by the end of next week, sir. Just send it to the address. I'll be looking for everything you think I need to not be bootleg. Okay, you got it. You got it. All right, y'all. Until next time, True Siblings and State Gang, stand up. I love y'all. I will see y'all on this channel tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock Central Standard Time. Love y'all. See y'all in a couple hours.